जिसमें हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट में काफ़ी जगह चुनाव को कंप्लीट करते हुए, तमिलनाडु में कंप्लीट करते हुए सेकेंड फेज में राजस्थान को भी कंप्लीट करेंगे। फेज 3 would be from 12th of April and date of poll will be 7th of May. इसमें भी टोटल 12 स्टेट्स उस समय में जा रही होंगी और इस फेज में 3 नए राज्य में चुनाव शुरू होगा। इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह से दिखाई देगा। राजस्थान हम कवर कर चुके होंगे, तमिलनाडु कवर कर चुके होंगे, केरला कवर कर चुके होंगे, गुजरात इसमें कवर कर लेंगे, नॉर्थ ईस्ट पूरा कवर कर चुके होंगे और हम नए राज्यों को मिला के 3 इसमें नए राज्य भी जुड़ेंगे। फोर्थ फेज में 18 अप्रैल को गजट नोटिफिकेशन होगा और डेट ऑफ पोलिंग वुड बी 13th of May. Date of counting in the entire country would be 4th of June for all by-elections, for the assembly elections, for the parliamentary elections. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा। इस समय तक हम इसमें तेलंगाना, आंध्रा, उड़ीसा would start and by that time other than that entire South India would be complete, entire Western India would be complete, North East would be complete. और फिफ्थ फेज 26 अप्रैल से शुरू होगी और 20 मई तक चलेगी। 20 मई तक डेट ऑफ पोल होगी, बीच में नॉमिनेशन, स्क्रूटनी और विड्रॉल की डेट्स रहेंगी। काउंटिंग ऑफ कोर्स इज 4th of June. It will look like this, which is in front of you, and phase 5 में 49 constituencies will be going to the poll. Phase 6 में 57 constituencies will go to the poll, starting from the Gazette notification on 29th of April and finishing on 25th of May 2024. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा कि मोस्टली यूपी, बिहार, बंगाल, उड़ीसा और साथ में कुछ नॉर्थ का पोर्शन चालू रहेगा। लास्ट फेज, 7th phase notification will be on 7th of May and polling on 1st of June. So last polling would be on 1st of June and counting on 4th. And इस फेज में पूरा पंजाब, हरियाणा भी शामिल रहेगा, बंगाल, बिहार।
rallies. How?
फेज 1 में 102 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज, फेज 2 में 89, फेज 3 में 94, फेज 4 में 96, 49, 57, 57. So we'll start with the 102, the largest.
You've heard that song, Who Let the Dogs Out? Then we'll all be singing Who Let the Jihadis Out. Regarding
finish the western area, तो इसमें वेदर और हर चीज का ध्यान रखते हुए काफी सोचने के बाद ये शेड्यूल बनाया गया है।
So elections have been
in the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
You have denied us the right of being part of this nation. We have every right as Indians to have our own government, not officers ruling this state. We need people who can lead this state forward. Officers don't have that will in them. So, not only I, but I think every political party and every person of Jammu and Kashmir must be feeling sad today.
Security has been given a reason for denying the election by denying this.
Then don't hold parliamentary election. If you think security is that bad, then why hold parliamentary election? If for parliamentary election your security is all right, why not for state election? You need the same force. 3 phase के बजाय आप 7 phase में करिए. कौन रोकता आपको? मगर they're not ready.
So what are the hopes from the Lok Sabha polls? Because you have
Inshallah, we will do well. We'll do well.
Farsa, will you be contesting from Srinagar?
That will be decided by the party in this week. They'll decide the names of the candidates. And if they decide that I should fight, at my age, I would say, please don't decide my name. But if they force me, then I can't say anything. Otherwise, I think I have done my bit.
So indirectly, you are saying that the another candidate will be.
Anybody can be there. In National Conference hasn't got dearth of candidates. Inshallah, good candidates will be there.
As far as Jammu and Kashmir was concerned, our primary concern has been assembly elections. We are without an elected government for the last 6 years. There has been no election for the last 10 years. I don't understand this logic of extending the elections across so many weeks. I mean, what is the point and what is the logic when you yourself are calling and you are justifying that we should have simultaneous elections on one single day? Then what is the point of dragging these elections? There is a proper gerrymandering has been done. We have been left high and dry. Our hopes have been dashed. And democracy has stopped at the gates of Lakhanpur.
Now, even as days for 2024 were announced, Congress continues to fearmonger on the EVMs. Congress speculates on issues with EVMs. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said that there will be issues with the electronic voting machine, and he added that there have been instances where the Election Commission observers had failed to perform their duty. Take a listen in.
नंबर सेट हमें करने की अधिकार नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो 400 नंबर की बात कर रहे हैं ना, ये अहंकार की एक प्रकाश है. अहंकारम बलम दर्पम, ये मोदी जी की सरकार की एक चेहरा होते हैं. आपका वोट, आपसे हम आशीर्वाद मांग सकते, दुआ मांग सकते, दया मांग सकते. आपका वोट मेरे जेब में रखे हुए कोई फिक्स डिपॉजिट तो नहीं है, कोई पेटेंट तो नहीं है कि मैं कह देते हैं 400 सीट. तो इसीलिए ना आम लोगों के अंदर एक शंका पैदा होते जा रहे हैं कि बिना चुनाव होते हुए 400 पार कराना के मतलब क्या ईवीएम में कोई कार्रवाई होगी क्या? ईवीएम में कोई घोटाला होगी क्या? ये लोगों के अंदर एक शंका पैदा कर देते हैं सरकार की अहंग. लोग ये सोचने लगे हैं कि बिना चुनाव कैसे कह सकते हैं कि 400 पार कर देंगे. इसका मतलब है ईवीएम में छेड़छाड़ होगी क्या? बिना छेड़छाड़ ईवीएम, बिना चुनाव कैसे कह देते हैं? ये क्या इसके पास क्या तिलस्मी है? ये क्या जादूगर है? क्या है?
40 बार लगभग इस देश की संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स, हाई कोर्ट्स एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स ईवीएम के ऊपर में जितनी चुनौतियां हुई हैं उनको देख चुकी हैं. चुनौतियां किस प्रकार की हुई? ये हैक हो सकती है, चोरी हो जाती है, 19 लाख मिसिंग हैं, इसमें दिखाई नहीं देता है, ये कंप्यूटर से खराब हो जाती है, रिजल्ट्स बदल सकता है, मैनिपुलेट हो सकता है. हर बार संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स ने इसको रिजेक्ट किया है. क्या कहा है? कभी कहा कि इसमें वायरस लग ही नहीं सकता, नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग वायरस. कभी कहा इनवैलिड वोट्स नहीं हो सकते, कभी कहा रिगिंग इज नॉट पॉसिबल, कभी कहा कि व्हेन देयर इज सेक्शन 61A इन द आरपी एक्ट व्हिच एम्पावर्स द यूज ऑफ द ईवीएम, जब तक वो खत्म ना हो जब तक ये प्रश्न उठाना गलत है. कभी कहा कि ईवीएम्स आर फूल प्रूफ डिवाइसेस फॉर काउंटिंग एंड एलिगेशंस ऑफ टेम्परिंग आर बेसलेस. कभी रिपीट गिनिए वो हमने शुरू कर दिया. अब तो ये आ गया है नतीजा कि कोर्ट्स ने जुर्माना लगाना शुरू कर दिया. दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने मिस्चीवियस कहते हुए 10,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया. फिर माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने 50,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया. अभी फिर रिसेंटली माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने एक पिटीशन खत्म की है. कितनी बार सुनेंगे? क्यों बार बार वही बिलाप करना है? कोई चीजें तो हमसे पूछिए। हैक नहीं हो सकती, किसी सूरत में नहीं हो सकती, एंड जो परिणाम आते हैं वही प्रमाण है। बार बार परिणाम आते हैं। कोई भी ईवीएम लेके बैठ जाता है सोशल मीडिया पे, वो डिब्बा लेके एक बैठ जाता है। और आजकल एक नया ट्रेंड शुरू हुआ है, वो थोड़ा सा एक्सपर्ट भी बन जाता है। आजकल एक दो एक्सपर्ट भी चल रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे। वो कहाँ की डिग्री हैं, कहाँ के एक्सपर्ट हैं, थोड़ा देखना भी चाहिए। वो बताते हैं कि ये डिब्बा है, वो टूल बॉक्स जैसा डिब्बा होता है, उसके अंदर में क्या है पता नहीं है। उसमें से गत्ते के डिब्बे में से एक स्लिप भी निकलती है। वो धरना भी हो जाता है कि ये स्लिप बदल गई, मैंने यहाँ बटन दबाया था और यहाँ ही गलत निकल गई। भाई आपने क्या दबाया था, किसी को बताया था क्या? क्या निकला, किसी को बताया था क्या? अरे संविधान कोर्ट्स कह रही हैं। अच्छा, जितनी बार हमसे आप पूछेंगे उतनी बार हम उसका एक क्वेश्चन लेके आपको FAQs में डाल देंगे। 100+ क्वेश्चंस हैं।
Now, the BJP has exuded confidence and said, and of course reiterated the slogan, Ab ki baar 400 par. Listen into the reactions coming in post the poll date announcement.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 370+ और एनडीए को 400 पार सीट देश भर से सभी देंगे, ये मैं कहता हूं। और फिर एक बार माननीय मोदी सरकार इस देश में आ रहे हैं।
मोदी जी फिर प्रधानमंत्री भारी बहुमत से बनेंगे, रिकॉर्ड तोड़ बहुमत से। वहीं कांग्रेस पूरी तरह हाशिए पर चली जाएगी और अब तक के न्यूनतम वोट कांग्रेस को, न्यूनतम वोट भी और न्यूनतम सीट भी कांग्रेस को मिलेगी।
And we are extremely confident this historic election in Tamil Nadu will truly be historic in the term that not only will BJP open its numbers in a big way, but also the number of votes that we get in Tamil Nadu will truly be path-breaking.
उत्तराखंड से हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत लगाव है और उत्तराखंड की जनता का भी। वो उनको अपने परिवार का मानते हैं, अपने घर का मानते हैं, इसलिए उत्तराखंड से 5 लोकसभा।
जी हाँ, 7 चरणों में देश का चुनाव होगा और मुझे खुशी है कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने आज इसकी घोषणा कर दी है और 7 चरणों में चुनाव होगा। दिल्ली 6ठे चरण में होगा और जो गाइडलाइंस इलेक्शन कमीशन ने निर्धारित किए हैं हम सब उसका पालन भी करेंगे। 2014-2019 में दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें भरपूर स्नेह दिया है, आशीर्वाद दिया है। दिल्ली की 7 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जीती हैं। निस्संदेह 2024 में भी हम जनता के आशीर्वाद से 7 सीटें जीतेंगे और मोदी जी को तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनाएंगे।
हाउ prepared this time the BJP is during Lok Sabha election 2024?
नहीं, हम प्रिपेयर्ड हैं ऑलरेडी। हमारे 7 कैंडिडेट अनाउंस हो चुके हैं, उन्होंने अपना जनसंपर्क शुरू कर दिया है। बूथ पर हमारा कार्यकर्ता अपना काम कर रहा है। अब तो सिर्फ जनता का आशीर्वाद और जनता से जो स्नेह है उसके लिए 25 मई का इंतजार है। 7 सीटें जीतकर माननीय मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाना है।
लोकसभा का आम चुनाव जिसके तिथि के ऐलान का पूरा देश इंतजार कर रहा था, चुनाव आयोग ने तिथियों का ऐलान कर दिया है। पहले चरण का मतदान जहां 19 अप्रैल को होगा, वहीं आखिरी चरण का मतदान 1 जून को होगा और 4 जून को मतों की गणना होगी। 4 जून को यूपी में सपा बसपा कांग्रेस 0-0-0।
सर, पूरा 1.5 महीने तक चुनाव प्रक्रिया चलेगी। 7 चरणों में चुनाव हो रहा है। यह अनुमान था हो सकता है चरण कुछ कम हो, लेकिन हुआ नहीं।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता पसीना बहा रहे थे और हमको पसीना बहाना आता है। हम ट्विटर पे ट्वीट करके चुनाव नहीं लड़ते, हम केवल इवेंट कोई मैनेजमेंट करके चुनाव नहीं लड़ते। हम जनता के बीच में थे, जनता के बीच में हैं, जनता के बीच में जाएंगे और डबल इंजन सरकार की जो उपलब्धियां हैं उसको लेकर के जाएंगे और विकसित भारत की गारंटी का संकल्प जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने दिलाया है, उनके नेतृत्व में देश उठ करके खड़ा है। भाजपा की आंधी चल रही है, तूफान चल रहा है और उस तूफान में सब परेशान हैं। इसलिए आपकी बार 400 पार, फिर एक बार प्रचंड बहुमत की मोदी सरकार।
तो आपका लक्ष्य 80 सीट यूपी में जीतने का, देश में 400 कैसे पूरा होगा?
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बूथ स्तर पर मजबूत तैयारी की है। हमारा संगठनात्मक तंत्र है, हमारी सरकार की उपलब्धियां हैं और विपक्ष नेता विहीन, नीति विहीन, नेतृत्व विहीन और पूरी तरह से इंडी गठबंधन अलग थलग पड़ गया है। सपा बसपा कांग्रेस में भगदड़ मची हुई है। बाकी विपक्षी दलों में भी सब लोग यह मान लिए हैं कि तीसरी बार मोदी सरकार बनने जा रही है।
राहुल प्रियंका का नाम नहीं आ रहा है रायबरेली अमेठी, देर हो रही है।
कांग्रेस की समस्या है, भाजपा की समस्या नहीं है। भाजपा अमेठी तो जीतने जा रही, रायबरेली भी जीतेगी।
निर्वाचन आयोग द्वारा घोषित हम चुनाव का स्वागत करते हैं और आभार प्रकट करते हैं। जिस ढंग से मुख्य निर्वाचन आयुक्त महोदय ने देश की जनता को संबोधित किया है, सभी से अपील की है कि 100% मतदान की ओर बढ़ें, छुट्टियां न मनाएं और सब लोग एकजुट करके लोकतंत्र के इस महापर्व में शामिल हों। उत्तर प्रदेश के लिहाज से हम कह सकते हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी 80 की 80 सीटें जीतने जा रही है। माननीय मोदी जी की गरीब कल्याण योजनाओं ने जन जन में पैठ बनाई है। कोरोना महामारी के काल से लेकर अब तक उत्तर प्रदेश के सभी परिवारों का मानना है कि माननीय मोदी जी हमारे अभिभावक हैं। हम आज कह सकते हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश राज्य में मोदी जी की लहर चल रही है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ 80 की 80 सीटों पर विजयश्री हासिल करेगी।
Right, we sip into a short break. But on the other side, it's a big development in Liquorgate investigation. BRSS K. Kavita has been sent to a 7-day ED custody. More on that on the other side. Stay tuned.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Dialogue is home to me now. It's my friend and it's my enemy. In the end, it keeps me alive. Only once, very carefully, because it's a hideous disease. It's horrible because it's so contagious, and it's the extent of damage to a human being is totally unpredictable. Mine was extensive. One of the worst cases ever recorded, and I'm still here. But I watched thousands of kids in my ward, in my time, at Parkland, die of it that had considerably less problem. You never know. So, the machine, I can tell you that it is another way of life. It's a different kind of life, and that you're totally restricted. Many people would go crazy in it. And I watched them do it in the hospital. But you adapt and you learn to do what you need to do to accomplish your goals and your dreams with the help of the Iron Lung.
कांग्रेस के लिए जो आक्रोश है वो मैं भली भांति समझ सकता हूं। कांग्रेस एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो चाहे कितने भी कपड़े बदल ले, कांग्रेस की करतूतें नहीं बदलती। में कानून व्यवस्था की धज्जियां उड़ाई जा रही हैं, असामाजिक तत्वों को खुलेआम संरक्षण दे रही है, जनता के मन में खौफ पैदा किया जा रहा है। जनता परेशानियों से त्रस्त है और कांग्रेस
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
You've heard that song? Who Let the Dogs Out? Then we'll all be singing Who Let the Jihadis Out. Regarding China, it says that there is a very real chance of escalation on the line of actual control with China. 500,000 men and women facing each other, both nuclear powers, because Chinese want to grab territory, because that is all what the Chinese do, and this is stopping the Chinese. I have been saying on record on this very platform that war between India and China will happen. The sooner it happens, the better. At least we'll sort out whatever we have to sort out. Pakistan is supporting terror inside India. The Pakistanis are not happy with this report. They are saying that how can you say we support terror inside India? Just want to tell the Pakistanis that 4 times you have been to the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is very willing to use the military option in settling disputes with Pakistan. So they are obviously referring to the surgical strikes, which is to say that there could be a war between India and Pakistan. I hope not, for Pakistan's sake, that the existence of Pakistan is detrimental to India's national security. Do you think the Pakistanis have suddenly discovered Aman ki Asha? They have suddenly discovered peace? No, not at all. So for anything you need to have intent and capability. Pakistan has the intent. Today it lacks the capability. What about the Akshardham temple attacks? What about the parliament attacks? You know, what about the 1993 bomb blast in Mumbai? What about 26/11? Jan friends, I am Major Gauravari and you are watching the latest news of the day. A very recent US intelligence report. Actually, it was talked about in the month of February, but yesterday the Americans actually released the report, some parts of it, and cause of much concern, whether in Pakistan or in China. And that report says stuff very, very directly. Regarding China, it says that there is a very real chance of escalation on the line of actual control with China. This is what the report says, and I'll read out certain excerpts of the report.
Ladies and gentlemen, from powering up India's future in mobility to deliberating on Bharat's role beyond its borders, it is now my honor to introduce our next guest, His Excellency Mr. Mohamed Nasheed, the former President of the Maldives, who has repeatedly spoken vociferously about the role India can play globally. Ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the highly charged and evolved dynamics in the Indian Ocean, the friend of Bharat, His Excellency Mr. Mohamed Nasheed.
We must understand that India is our neighbor and it is there to stay. It is next door. We've had excellent relations for thousands of years, hundreds of years, and I'm sure it will continue.
Everyone must understand that we are an Indian Ocean country. India is just a few miles away from our northernmost island. We read the same books, we watch the same films, we eat the same food, we listen to the same music.
Look, Sri Lanka is in distress. Who has given anything? Only India. And India would be the only country who would step in and who would assist you in the first instance.
Hands together for His Excellency Mr. Mohamed Nasheed. He will be in conversation with Republic Media Network's Executive Editor, News, Niranjan Narayan Swami.
President Nasheed here, he's not just the former president of the Maldives. He's a friend of India. I don't know how many of you know about the story of Mohamed Nasheed and his relationship with India and New Delhi especially. He's also survived an assassination attempt because Maldives also has been battling with radicalism. He was targeted by his rivals. He was jailed, almost tortured when India had to intervene. The government had to intervene and ensure that he's freed. There was political intervention from India. He's popular in Maldives, but he's also controversial. Before we start the session, President Nasheed, I'll just ask a question to all our friends who are here. How many of you in the auditorium have been to Maldives in the past? If you can just raise your hands, please.
Far too few.
Far too few. Okay. Let me ask them another follow-up question. How many of you will go back to the Maldives after the recent controversy? And there's a reason why I asked that question, President Nasheed. So let me start with the headline today, and before we get to the tourism aspect of it. Maldives and China have now, come to a defense agreement. It's been signed. Maldives will now obtain non-lethal weapons and training from China, right? Why is Maldives falling for the China trap, President Nasheed? It didn't happen during your tenure. Why is it happening now?
Well, firstly, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back in Delhi, back in India. I've been away from India for far too long. It's been 6 months. This business of a former president is an awkward affair. You can't just go to places. You have to be invited to come. So thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you, the editor-in-chief, and thank you to the whole team. I love it here. I've always said, I am a friend of India, and the vast majority of the people of the Maldives are friends of India. This is a very, very wrong perception that there is an anti-Indian sentiment in the Maldives. We do not have an anti-Indian sentiment in the Maldives. It's a small minority of people who, for their political benefit, have coined a phrase and have gone with this rhetoric. So, but before coming to your question, as you pointed out, I immensely admire your Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, and the work that the Prime Minister is doing. It is not only lifting the people of India to prosperity, it is giving a source of strength and honor and proudness to all of us. We want to rise with India. We want to plug into your development. We want to have prosperity in our islands, in the neighbor, and whatever good happens here will overflow to our neighbors, to your neighbors. And therefore, it is very important for us that India keeps on rising. I have no doubt that this will ever stop. The coming decade would certainly be the decade for India. Now, coming to your question, why has the Maldives signed a defense agreement with China? To start with, I have my doubts if they have actually signed anything other than a supply contract. In 1988, there was an attempted coup in the Maldives. India instantly stepped in, aborted the coup, and brought back the government again. Every time when there's been a defense or a security issue in the Maldives, it's been India who has come to our assistance. The number of defense agreements and military exercises that we jointly have are far more than anyone else can ever have. So it's unfortunate that the Maldives has thought, or the president has thought, that he needs to buy tear gas and rubber bullets from China, and I am afraid that this will be again used against us. So this is not something that I would ever celebrate. I think stronger democracy, rule of law is how you govern, not through the barrel of the gun. So whatever equipment that we have bought is unnecessary, and I hope that they will remain unnecessary. And the institutional links between our two countries are far stronger than just one equipment contract.
President Nasheed, now Muizu, right? He's come to power with an anti-India sentiment. He came to power with the India Out campaign, right? But is that the Maldivian sentiment? Is that what the people of Maldives feel?
I do not believe that he has come to power because of an anti-India rhetoric. He came to power because my old party was weak. Our sitting president was weak. Our party was fractured. We couldn't unify the party. And we went into a presidential election thinking that they could win with one section of our party. So it was very unfortunate that this had happened. Anti-India sentiment is not a Maldives sentiment. I have to stress this again and again and again. We, as I keep saying, we read the same books, we watch the same films, we eat the same food, we have similar cultures, and we are very, very united. We are the same people. You cannot divorce us, you cannot marginalize us from India. And I never would believe that a sensible thinking Maldivian would ever believe that there can be any political gain by having an Indian sentiment. Most of our doctors are Indians. Most of our teachers are Indians. Most of our accountants are Indians. The middle establishment is very much assisted by India. So it is foolhardy for us to think, outrageous for anyone to think that an anti-India sentiment is a Maldives sentiment. I've come here at a very difficult time.
Yes.
And especially having to sit with journalists like, high-flying journalists like you.
Sir, we're not high-flying, sir.
And trying to defend, trying to bat it out would be, I know, difficult. But I really do want to say that this is not a Maldives sentiment. We are your friends, and we will continue and remain as your friends.
So when for example, Muizu says there will be no Indian troops on Maldivian soil, he said that. He's given a deadline of May 15th, if I'm not wrong. He says, I think there are roughly about 89 Indian troops in Maldives as of today. And when he says on the 15th of May, there will be no Indian troops in, military uniform or in civilian clothes, how long do you think it's going to last?
Well, we have 3 Indian helicopters and 1 Dornier flight.
Will he return those helicopters?
We still have 3 Indian helicopters.
Yes.
And 1 Dornier flight. These were brought for medical evacuation. When our people get ill in our far-flung islands, these helicopters bring the patients to our hospitals. We have few developed hospitals. So these are in few islands. So to have medical emergency evacuations, India has helped us to bring these people to hospitals. And they have benefited our people immensely. They have alleviated a lot of pain. And I believe that they should continue, and they will continue. Now, but President Muiz kind of feels that there has to be another mechanism through which they would like to bring them. I personally don't believe that this should happen. He wants civilian Indian personnel to do the job. The whole idea, even from the very beginning, was that they would train our people to do the work, and they would remain until the training was done. And I think we should continue with that, and I believe that we will continue with that. I can't see this rapidly changing in the near future.
But you see the kind of statements that are coming out, President Nasheed. For example, there was a recent statement where he called India a bully. I mean, I can't imagine a Maldivian head of state call India a bully. Why would you do that? You've had our External Affairs Minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar, who gave him a befitting reply. And he said, while responding to that statement, he said, a bully in the neighborhood wouldn't give you $4.5 billion in aid, right?
Well, I'll add to what Dr. Jaishankar said. When little Maldives asked India that they would want the troops gone, you know what India did? They agreed. There was no muscle twisting, muscle display. There was no arm twisting. They just wanted to have a conversation, find out how this can reasonably be done. That's not an action of a bully. An actions of a bully would be to display your muscle. Of course, you do have far more stronger than anyone around in our region, or for that matter, the planet. That's not what India did. What India did was they respected a small island nation for whatever, right or wrong. They respected it, spoke to them, they are speaking to them, and they are finding ways of how to hand over. And I believe these are actions of a responsible superpower. These are not actions of a bully. Money is just one thing, but how you act, how you behave, how you treat your small neighbor, that is where a definition of bullying would come. And you would never see that. If you go back to the 70s and 60s and the United States and their neighbors and what was happening there, you would see the difference. Here is a responsible superpower rising, and I like it. I want to see India rise, and I strongly believe that our safety and our security is linked. Yes, the $4.5 billion, the COVID vaccine, the 1988 coup, when we had water shortage, India also came with water. So there's numerous incidents when India has always come and helped us out, and I don't think these are actions of a bully. That's very wrong to say it. Yeah. No one should say it, and I will condemn this all the time.
And when you speak of bullies, how would you describe China? Would you call China a bully, or would you call China or refer to China as a honey trap? I'll tell you why. Because see what's happened to Sri Lanka, and you have friends in Sri Lanka. See what has happened to Nepal, what they're trying to do in Bangladesh, for example, and in Bhutan, right? Now, all of them are wary of China today. Why is Maldives suddenly taken this still?
You know, throughout the region, we swing from one side to another after every election. This is a habit. But we must try and see that we have stable foreign policy, where we have more center and not keep on swinging from one side to the other. But this is happening. It's part and parcel of multi-party democracy. If I say it's white, my opposition would instantly come out and say it's black. So there is that element to it as well. But China has spent given a lot of aid, loans, not aid, loans, to our countries to build a lot of infrastructure. Now, I do not think that we should measure development with concrete. The more concrete, the more steel you have, the more glass you have, that doesn't necessarily mean you're developing more. They intentionally raise the price of the projects so that the business plan fails. When the business plan fails, you can't pay back your loan. So when you can't pay back the loan, then they ask for equity. And with equity, we lose more sovereignty. So I think this whole idea that development depends on huge amounts of infrastructure is very wrong. Development is what happens to you. It's your own prosperity and it's your own happiness. So I think when countries want to counter the Road and Belt Initiative, it's not another Road and Belt Initiative. It must be focused on small projects that have big impact on households, on people. And I think a lot of the Indian projects in the Maldives are driven in this way. I've had many conversations with your officials, and they do agree that this is the best way to go about assisting a neighboring country. And I believe that, you know, we are very heavily indebted. All of our countries are very, very heavily indebted. And this year, more than I am told, that more up to 25 to 30 countries would go into default. Poor countries, developing countries, have to pay over $500 billion in interest alone to all these loans. We don't have that money because none of these projects were actually financially viable. So it is going to be a difficult year. There will be more defaults and there will be more chaos all around us. So it's going to be sad, and I think we should be very, very mindful about where the money is coming from, how the money is spent, what are the terms of these investments. And I am very glad that, you know, Indian investments go through a tendering process.
Yes.
And we know what is coming to our country. It's not just some vanity project for a minister. It's done through enough assessments, and it's going through a process. And the rates are very, very low. So these are development loans. And the price is the best price. So I think there is a marked difference between what we get from India and what we get from China. I would go for Indian assistance any day.
Great. Well said. I mean, once Maldives default, I think the tide will change. And the tide will change. And we also know it's a fight for the Indian Ocean. Of course, India has a stake in the Indian Ocean, right? China has an interest in the Indian Ocean. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I was speaking to you just before this, and you mentioned that the current president of Maldives is running out of support. Is that true? Is he isolated? Is there a chance that the government could fall in the Maldives?
Well, he won the elections, as I said, A, because our party got fractured and the president was very weak. B, because the former President Yamin, and the breakaway from the MDP also supported him. But now all of these people have left him. His own party is fractured, where President Yamin has distanced himself from the new president, and no one is around him. So he is looking very, very isolated. We have parliamentary elections coming, and I think these elections would show how the political landscape would look like. And I am hopeful, and I am very confident that we will be able to bring sanity to the Maldives. Sensible people will do sensible things, and we can't go along this trajectory and this pathway. It will change.
Yep.
Now, about the Indian Ocean.
Yes.
The Maldives occupies the navigable parts of the Indian Ocean. We are a very big country. We are a big ocean state. We stretch 1,000 kilometers from north to south. Most of the trade routes and supply lines converge into our space and our country. So there is always people who want to dominate the Maldives. And we should always be mindful about that. And because of this, safety and security of the Indian Ocean is so important for all of us. India is very relevant for us, and we must have good relations with India. I believe these are the sensible paths that we should take, and I think it will continue.
You know, we have our Prime Minister here is very popular, you know. He likes to dive, he likes to snorkel. And why was there such a meltdown in Maldives when our Prime Minister went to Lakshadweep? Why did your politicians lose it? At least a set of them. They lost it on social media. They put out posts, bordering on hate, right? Why did they go into a meltdown?
Well, small minds do wrong things. Developing tourism in Lakshadweep would be for the benefit of the Maldives. It's complementary. It's never competitive. When Sri Lanka grows, when Sri Lankan tourism prospers, it's always a benefit to the Maldives. Someone who is going to Lakshadweep is more likely to come to the Maldives as well, because you've been there and there is another destination right next door. So very often people take these multiple destination tours. So I think it was wrong even economically. We've understood this about Maldives tourism industry and how it helps when Sri Lankan arrivals increase, Maldives arrivals will increase. So I think tourism development in Lakshadweep would benefit us all. There is nothing wrong with having tourism in the Lakshadweep, and it would be beautiful. I am sure it can be done. And I believe a lot of our own entrepreneurs, because they have a very good experience on developing resorts, they probably have better experience in this region in developing resorts, and they would jump to the occasion. Yes. They already have resorts in Seychelles, they already have resorts in Zanzibar, so I am sure our entrepreneurs would jump to the occasion. And they do want this. They've been wanting tourism development in Minico Islands as well. So I think, to start with, this was wrongly thinking, and it was small minds talking about silly things. And I'm glad that these low-level government officials have now been removed. And these are activists who suddenly was brought into government, and then they just kind of ran on the wrong side. Sad, and I am sorry.
Yeah.
I am extremely sorry that they have done this.
Now that's it's graceful of you. But is it true that tourism industry has actually taken a hit because of the boycott by Indians?
Well, yes, a lot of Indian tourists have stopped coming to the Maldives, and even if the aggregate number remains, we must understand that resorts specialize in destinations. There'll be resorts who specialize in Indian tourists. And for them, it would be a very, very big hit. So the boycott campaign here has hurt us. And again, I've come here to tell you, please come to the Maldives. And you must win our hearts and our minds. They are with you. To hit us back I am sure that's not the view of the Honorable Prime Minister. I know the Honorable Prime Minister very well. I'll tell you, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Laila, my wife, when she asked the Prime Minister not to come to the Maldives while I was in prison, the Prime Minister not only not came to the Maldives, but got me out as well. So I can go on saying so many instances, and our relationship with the Honorable Prime Minister is very rich, very friendly, and I am sure it will continue.
Yeah, and finally, I had a few classmates when I studied in Bangalore, a city in Karnataka, and they're back in the Maldives, and some of them are in the tourism business, and they tell me it started with India out, but the mood now is Muizu out. Is that true? Is that going to happen?
Well, you see, when you go against entrepreneurship, when you actually hurt your own people, it will be difficult to win their hearts. It will be difficult to get their support. So I think the President, Dr. Moise, would realize what has happened, and he will have to change course, redirect himself, and see that we remain strongly together. This is not the path that we should take.
All right, he's traveled all the way from Ghana in Africa to be with us at the Republic Summit this year, and he's going back to Ghana after this, so big round of applause for President Nasheed.
There's one more little thing, right? Going to the topic, what should India do in the coming decade? India, I believe, will save the planet. I am very sorry, this hasn't come up here. We have to decarbonize. We have to find a low carbon development strategy that would give us the same economic outcomes, but without damaging the planet. The biofuels that your energy minister was talking about, I was very excited about it. The renewables that you are bringing, your net zero targets. So India will be the leader in saving the planet. That is bigger than anything else. So I believe what India would do in the next 10 years, decade, would be actually find a pathway to save the planet. And I thank you for that.
President Nasheed, thank you for joining us here at the Republic Summit. It was a pleasure to host you. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for President Nasheed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for being so candid and insightful. Ladies and gentlemen, the former President of the Maldives, Mohamed Nasheed.
Jai Hind friends, I am Major Gauravari and you are watching the latest news of the day. Very recently, the Prime Minister of India spoke to the Prime Minister of UK, Rishi Sunak, and both had a talk, and both parties were extremely eager to take forward, the free trade agreement between UK and India. In this free trade agreement, what has happened is that, it was initiated somewhere around 2022, and since then, more than, I think, 12 or 13 meetings have taken place, and it's all coming out now in the open that, we want to partner, and this strategic partnership, a very important strategic partnership between the UK and India needs to be taken forward, and, we need to take it also in the economic sphere, and we will give each other certain privileges and, more goods, Indian goods going to UK and more UK goods going to India, etc., etc. So there will be a lot of privileges, a lot of, tax breaks, and it's a whole this thing, which will a whole system which will encourage Indian trade with the UK and UK trade with India. Some of the richest people in UK, especially like Mittal, who's the steel king of the United Kingdoms, he is there, and a lot of rich Indians reside there, billions of pounds worth of investment, etc. So that is one part, and there's a very dynamic Indian diaspora in the UK, and the UK recognizes the power of the Indian diaspora, right? If you leave aside Khalistanis, who are not Indians, by the way, I do not think we should count Khalistanis as Indians. They may have been born in India, but I think they are a blot to humanity, and we pretty much don't care about the Khalistanis. If you take them out, Indians have an extremely clean record. Very low crime as far as the Indian NRIs are concerned. Most of them are highly qualified, and they are occupying top positions. They are responsible people. The jail population, the prison population of Indians in the UK is extremely low. The Pakistani population and the Khalistani population is extremely high. I mean, first the Pakistanis go to UK and then they go to prison. It's like hop. UK is, okay, you land in the UK and then you go to a British prison. I mean, that's how many Pakistanis end up spending time in UK, because grooming gangs, etc., etc. But India has got a spotless reputation, and which is why most of the countries, they want to invest in India. Very recently, 4 European countries, they promised, they have signed an understanding with India that they will invest more than $100 billion in India over a period of 15 years. This is a massive investment coming in one go over 15 years, $100 billion. And this is also an acknowledgement of India's growing economic stature and diplomatic stature. And looking at all this, the UK says that we also want some of it. So countries vying with each other, there's Saudi Arabia, there is UAE, there are so many countries, right, who are actually, saying that we want to invest in India, because above all, investment depends upon ROI, return on investment. And everybody is very sure that this investment will make a lot of sense for them as investors, because they'll get a lot of returns. That is one news for the day. And the second news is that NSA, Ajit Doval met Benjamin Netanyahu, and they discussed a lot of stuff, especially regarding the bombing in Gaza, humanitarian aid, etc., and the overall security situation in West Asia. We call it West Asia, the world calls it the Middle East, it doesn't matter. In West Asia / the Middle East. Also very important what the Houthis are doing, and I believe some time back they hijacked, off the coast of Somalia. So the Houthis are in a separate area altogether, but this is Somalia. And when I talk about Somalia, proper Africa, and they hijacked a Bangladeshi ship. So all this area, right from the Red Sea to the Horn of Africa, down from there, this is a zone where if you don't get hit by a missile, you will get hijacked by the Somalians. So the Houthis are active, the Somalians are active, and this is something that the world is trying to fight against. And I'm
The battle lines are drawn. Election Commission announces 2-month-long electoral battle, April 19th onwards. Lok Sabha elections to be conducted in 7 phases across the country. Simultaneous polls in 4 states. Lok Sabha election results to be out on the 4th of June. Stay tuned to India's election headquarters for the biggest election coverage. Congress pins EVM theories minutes after EC briefing. Is this the display of nervousness ahead of 2024 polls? OIC knocks Supreme Court's door against implementation of CAA, repeats divisive and anti-minority theory. Big development in Liquorgate investigation. K. Kavita now sent to 7-day ED custody. Good evening, viewers. I'm Rakshita Mishra with you this Saturday evening, and the Chief Election Commissioner of India, Rajiv Kumar, has announced in a press conference that the Lok Sabha elections 2024 will be held in 7 phases, and the first notification will be on the 20th of March. The first phase of the polls will kick off on the 19th of April. The results for the polls, the big mandate, will be out on the 4th of June, and Republic TV will be getting you the most extensive coverage only on Republic TV. So now let's take a listen into what the Election Commissioner, the Chief Election Commissioner, had to say in the press conference.
Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, phase 1. We'll do it in 7 phases, as was done last time. 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, 5 days from now. And last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April. इसमें फेज 1 का शेड्यूल एक दिन से हमें 2 बार करना पड़ रहा है, फिर बिहार के लिए वहां एक फेस्टिवल है, तो नोटिफिकेशन की डेट सेम है, लेकिन बस लास्ट डेट ऑफ विड्रॉल हमें 30 मार्च की जगह 2 अप्रैल सिर्फ बिहार की फर्स्ट फेज के लिए करनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि वहां त्योहार है। और 19 अप्रैल को यहां वोटिंग होगी और पूरी कंट्री में 4 जून को काउंटिंग होगी। सो फेज 1 दिस विल लुक लाइक दिस। ये मैप भी हम आपको प्रोवाइड कर देंगे। अभी ये जो येलो पोर्शन है ये ऐसा दिखाई देगा। तो इसमें जो फेज 1 का जो मैप है, इसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट, नीचे तमिलनाडु, राजस्थान, सेंटर में छत्तीसगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश और उत्तराखंड, और ऊपर में जम्मू कश्मीर की 1 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी। ये येलो फर्स्ट फेज का आपके सामने में मैप है। सेकंड फेज और फर्स्ट फेज में 21 स्टेट्स जाएंगी पोल में। सेकंड फेज notification will start on 28th of March and date of poll will be 26th of April. Similarly here, in case of J&K, because of the some holiday, the date of one day would be different, date of security of nomination would be different, but date of gazette notification और date of poll would be common. Phase 1 में 21 राज्य पोलिंग में जाएंगे और फेज 2 में उसमें से और राज्य जुड़ जाएंगे। सो दिस इज द मैप विच वुड बी फेज 2। जिसमें हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट में काफ़ी जगह चुनाव को कंप्लीट करते हुए, तमिलनाडु में कंप्लीट करते हुए सेकेंड फेज में राजस्थान को भी कंप्लीट करेंगे। फेज 3 would be from 12th of April and date of poll will be 7th of May. इसमें भी टोटल 12 स्टेट्स उस समय में जा रही होंगी और इस फेज में 3 नए राज्य में चुनाव शुरू होगा। इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह से दिखाई देगा। राजस्थान हम कवर कर चुके होंगे, तमिलनाडु कवर कर चुके होंगे, केरला कवर कर चुके होंगे, गुजरात इसमें कवर कर लेंगे, नॉर्थ ईस्ट पूरा कवर कर चुके होंगे और हम नए राज्यों को मिला के 3 इसमें नए राज्य भी जुड़ेंगे। फोर्थ फेज में 18 अप्रैल को गजट नोटिफिकेशन होगा और डेट ऑफ पोलिंग वुड बी 13th of May. Date of counting in the entire country would be 4th of June for all by-elections, for the assembly elections, for the parliamentary elections. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा। इस समय तक हम इसमें तेलंगाना, आंध्रा, उड़ीसा would start and by that time other than that entire South India would be complete, entire Western India would be complete, North East would be complete. और फिफ्थ फेज 26 अप्रैल से शुरू होगी और 20 मई तक चलेगी। 20 मई तक डेट ऑफ पोल होगी, बीच में नॉमिनेशन, स्क्रूटनी और विड्रॉल की डेट्स रहेंगी। काउंटिंग ऑफ कोर्स इज 4th of June. It will look like this, which is in front of you, and phase 5 में 49 constituencies will be going to the poll. Phase 6 में 57 constituencies will go to the poll, starting from the Gazette notification on 29th of April and finishing on 25th of May 2024. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा कि मोस्टली यूपी, बिहार, बंगाल, उड़ीसा और साथ में कुछ नॉर्थ का पोर्शन चालू रहेगा। लास्ट फेज, 7th phase notification will be on 7th of May and polling on 1st of June. So last polling would be on 1st of June and counting on 4th, and इस फेज में पूरा पंजाब, हरियाणा भी शामिल रहेगा, बंगाल, बिहार, उड़ीसा. This is how the map will look. Yellow denotes the first phase and accordingly the legends are given. We will share this map also with you, ताकि आप इसे अपने साथ रख सकें, इसके हिसाब से देख सकें. ये भी कोशिश की है हमने, और अगर पूरी फेज वाइज हम पिक्चर दें, ये भी एक अच्छी स्नैपशॉट है, जिसमें फेज 1 में 102 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज, फेज 2 में 89, फेज 3 में 94, फेज 4 में 96, 49, 57, 57. So we'll start with the 102, the largest, slowly come down and finish northeast, move up from the south and finish the western area. तो इसमें वेदर और हर चीज का ध्यान रखते हुए काफी सोचने के बाद ये शेड्यूल बनाया गया है.
All right, we are getting some big breaking developments from West Bengal now. Sheikh Shahjahan's brother has been arrested by the CBI after questioning, and this is in connection with the attack on Enforcement Directorate. So that is the big breaking we have right now. Remember, CBI had interrogated Sirajul Molla and Sheikh Alamgir. Sheikh Alamgir is the brother of Sheikh Shah Jahan, and also Mahfuzur Molla. So these three, that includes brother of Sheikh Shah Jahan and also 2 aides of Sheikh Shah Jahan. They have been arrested by the CBI. That's a big development coming in right now, viewers. After interrogation of Sheikh Shah Jahan and the other accused, the arrested accused, Sheikh Alamgir, his brother, Mahfuzur Molla and Sirajul Molla have been arrested by the CBI today. That is the big development, and senior editor Shavan Sain joins us on the phone line for more. A big setback here, Shavan. Shahjahan's brother has been arrested along with 2 aides.
Well, in fact, we have a confirmation now coming in from sources within the Central Bureau of Investigation that 3 fresh arrests have been made in the Sandeshkhali case. One happens to be brother of Sheikh Shah Jahan, Sheikh Alamgir. He has been arrested. Along with that, close aides of Shah Jahan, Mafujar Molla, who is also the president of Trinamool Congress student wing, and Sirajullah Molla, all 3 have been arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation. In fact, remember, just about a week ago, there was a meeting that was done here in the national capital and in Kolkata with the Central Bureau of Investigation essentially looking into details of Sheikh Alamgir. In fact, searches were also carried out at the residence of Sheikh Alamgir, and a notice was pasted outside his residence asking him to appear before the Central Bureau of Investigation. As of now, Rakshita, we do not have a confirmation whether at all he had appeared before the Central Bureau of Investigation and thereafter he was placed under arrest. We are waiting for a confirmation coming in from our sources within the agency. But having said that, remember, this was something that the CBI was planning for some time, given the fact that they played an active role in aiding and abetting the crimes that were allegedly committed by Sheikh Shah Jahan. So certainly the Central Bureau of Investigation making a lot of progress in the investigation that has been carried out. Multiple FIRs were actually registered, and thereafter with the Calcutta High Court stepping into this entire matter, this has been expedited, and now we see the arrests that have taken place. They have taken over the custody of Sheikh Shah Jahan, and thereafter the arrests have now been made. The first 3 big arrests made by the Central Bureau of Investigation.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Shaban, for joining us with those details. That's a big development. Sheikh Shah Jahan's brother, the kingpin of Sandeshkhali, and his brother and 2 aides have been arrested in the attack on ED case. And now, viewers, we move back to the biggest story that we've been tracking throughout the day. Soon after the Election Commission announced the dates, the National Conference has expressed disappointment, saying that simultaneous polls should be held in Jammu and Kashmir and they should not be delayed anymore. Listen in.
Right of being part of this nation. We have every right as Indians to have our own government, not officers ruling this state. We need people who can lead this state forward. Officers don't have that will in them. So, not only I, but I think every political party and every person of Jammu and Kashmir must be feeling sad today.
Security has been given a reason for denying the election by denying this.
Then don't hold parliamentary election. If you think security is that bad, then why hold parliamentary election? If for parliamentary election your security is all right, why not for state election? You need the same force. 3 phase के बजाय आप 7 phase में करिए. कौन रोकता आपको? मगर they're not ready.
So what are the hopes from the Lok Sabha polls? Because
Inshallah, we will do well. We'll do well.
Farsa, will you be contesting from Srinagar?
That will be decided by the party in this week. They'll decide the names of the candidates. And if they decide that I should fight, at my age, I would say, please don't decide my name. But if they force me, then I can't say anything. But otherwise, I think I have done my bit.
So indirectly, you are saying that another candidate will be...
Anybody can be there. In National Conference hasn't got dearth of candidates. Inshallah, good candidates will be there.
As far as Jammu and Kashmir was concerned, our primary concern has been assembly elections. We are without an elected government for the last 6 years. There has been no election for the last 10 years. I don't understand this logic of extending the elections across so many weeks. I mean, what is the point and what is the logic when you yourself are calling and you are justifying that we should have simultaneous elections on one single day? Then what is the point of dragging these elections? There is a proper gerrymandering has been done. We have been left high and dry. Our hopes have been dashed. And democracy has stopped at the gates of Lakhanpur.
This after, remember viewers, there was speculation that poll dates for Jammu and Kashmir will be announced, but announcement was made only for Odisha, Arunachal Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh, and also for Sikkim. Now, even as dates for 2024 elections, the Lok Sabha elections also were announced, Congress continues to fearmonger on the EVMs. Congress speculates on issues with EVMs. Adhiranjan Chaudhary says that there will be issues with the EVM in the polls, and he also went on to say that there have been multiple instances where the EC observers had failed to perform their duty. Take a listen in.
नंबर सेट हमें करने की अधिकार नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो 400 नंबर की बात कर रहे हैं ना, ये अहंकार की एक प्रकाश है। अहंकारम बलम दर्पम, ये मोदी जी की सरकार की एक चेहरा होते हैं। आपका वोट, आपसे हम आशीर्वाद मांग सकते, दुआ मांग सकते, दया मांग सकते। आपका वोट मेरे जेब में रखे हुए कोई फिक्स डिपॉजिट तो नहीं है, कोई पेटेंट तो नहीं है कि मैं कह देते हैं 400 सीट। तो इसीलिए ना आम लोगों के अंदर एक शंका पैदा होते जा रहे हैं कि बिना चुनाव होते हुए 400 पार कराना के मतलब क्या ईवीएम में कोई कार्रवाई होगी क्या? ईवीएम में कोई घोटाला होगी क्या? ये लोगों के अंदर एक शंका पैदा कर देते हैं सरकार की अहंग। लोग ये सोचने लगे हैं कि बिना चुनाव कैसे कह सकते हैं कि 400 पार कर देंगे। इसका मतलब ईवीएम में छेड़छाड़ होगी क्या? बिना छेड़छाड़ ईवीएम, बिना चुनाव कैसे कह देते हैं? ये क्या इसके पास क्या तिलस्मी है? ये क्या जादूगर है? क्या है?
40 बार लगभग इस देश की संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स, हाई कोर्ट्स एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स ईवीएम के ऊपर में जितनी चुनौतियां हुई हैं उनको देख चुकी हैं। चुनौतियां किस प्रकार की हुई? ये हैक हो सकती है, चोरी हो जाती है, 19 लाख मिसिंग हैं, इसमें दिखाई नहीं देता है, ये कंप्यूटर से खराब हो जाती है, रिजल्ट्स बदल सकता है, मैनिपुलेट हो सकता है। हर बार संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स ने इसको रिजेक्ट किया है। क्या कहा है? कभी कहा कि इसमें वायरस लग ही नहीं सकता, नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग वायरस। कभी कहा इनवैलिड वोट्स नहीं हो सकते, कभी कहा रिगिंग इज नॉट पॉसिबल, कभी कहा कि व्हेन देयर इज सेक्शन 61A इन द आरपी एक्ट व्हिच एम्पावर्स द यूज ऑफ द ईवीएम, जब तक वो खत्म ना हो जब तक ये प्रश्न उठाना गलत है। कभी कहा कि ईवीएम्स आर फूल प्रूफ डिवाइसेस फॉर काउंटिंग एंड एलिगेशंस ऑफ टेम्परिंग आर बेसलेस। कभी कहा कि आप एक के बदले 5 वीवीपैट गिनिए, वो हमने शुरू कर दिया। अब तो ये आ गया है नतीजा कि कोर्ट्स ने जुर्माना लगाना शुरू कर दिया। दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने मिस्चीवियस कहते हुए 10,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया। फिर माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने 50,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया। अभी फिर रिसेंटली माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने एक पिटीशन खत्म की है। कितनी बार सुनेंगे? क्यों बार बार वही बिलाप करना है? कोई चीजें तो हमसे पूछिए। हैक नहीं हो सकती, किसी सूरत में नहीं हो सकती, एंड जो परिणाम आते हैं वही प्रमाण है। बार बार परिणाम आते हैं। कोई भी ईवीएम लेके बैठ जाता है सोशल मीडिया पे, वो डिब्बा लेके एक बैठ जाता है। और आजकल एक नया ट्रेंड शुरू हुआ है, वो थोड़ा सा एक्सपर्ट भी बन जाता है। आजकल 1-2 एक्सपर्ट भी चल रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे। वो कहाँ की डिग्री है, कहाँ के एक्सपर्ट हैं, थोड़ा देखना भी चाहिए। वो बताते हैं कि ये डिब्बा है, वो टूल बॉक्स जैसा डिब्बा होता है, उसके अंदर में क्या है पता नहीं है। उसमें से एक गत्ते के डिब्बे में से एक स्लिप भी निकलती है। वो धरना भी हो जाता है कि ये स्लिप बदल गई, मैंने यहाँ बटन दबाया था और यहाँ ही गलत निकल गई। भाई आपने क्या दबाया था, किसी को बताया था क्या? क्या निकला, किसी को बताया था क्या? अरे संविधान कोर्ट्स कह रही हैं। अच्छा, जितनी बार हमसे आप पूछेंगे उतनी बार हम उसका एक क्वेश्चन लेके आपको FAQs में डाल देंगे। 100+ क्वेश्चन हैं।
Now, the BJP has exuded confidence and reiterated the "Ab ki baar 400 par" slogan. Take a listen into the reactions coming in from the BJP.
जी हाँ, 7 चरणों में देश का चुनाव होगा और मुझे खुशी है कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने आज इसकी घोषणा कर दी है और 7 चरणों में चुनाव होगा। दिल्ली 6ठे चरण में होगा और जो गाइडलाइंस इलेक्शन कमीशन ने निर्धारित किए हैं हम सब उसका पालन भी करेंगे। 2014-2019 में दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें भरपूर स्नेह दिया है, आशीर्वाद दिया है। दिल्ली की 7 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जीती हैं। निस्संदेह 2024 में भी हम जनता के आशीर्वाद से 7 सीटें जीतेंगे और मोदी जी को तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनाएंगे।
How prepared this time the BJP is during Lok Sabha election 2024?
नहीं, हम प्रिपेयर्ड हैं ऑलरेडी। हमारे 7 कैंडिडेट अनाउंस हो चुके हैं। उन्होंने अपना जनसंपर्क शुरू कर दिया है। बूथ पर हमारा कार्यकर्ता अपना काम कर रहा है। अब तो सिर्फ जनता का आशीर्वाद और जनता से जो स्नेह है उसके लिए 25 मई का इंतजार है। 7 सीटें जीतकर माननीय मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाना है।
लोकसभा का आम चुनाव जिसके तिथि के ऐलान का पूरा देश इंतजार कर रहा था, चुनाव आयोग ने तिथियों का ऐलान कर दिया है। पहले चरण का मतदान जहां 19 अप्रैल को होगा, वहीं आखिरी चरण का मतदान 1 जून को होगा और 4 जून को मतों की गणना होगी। 4 जून को यूपी में सपा बसपा कांग्रेस 0-0-0।
सर, पूरा 1.5 महीने तक चुनाव प्रक्रिया चलेगी। 7 चरणों में चुनाव हो रहा है। यह अनुमान था हो सकता है चरण कुछ कम हो, लेकिन हुआ नहीं।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता पसीना बहा रहे थे और हमको पसीना बहाना आता है। हम ट्विटर पे ट्वीट करके चुनाव नहीं लड़ते। हम केवल इवेंट कोई मैनेजमेंट करके चुनाव नहीं लड़ते। हम जनता के बीच में थे, जनता के बीच में हैं, जनता के बीच में जाएंगे और डबल इंजन सरकार की जो उपलब्धियां हैं उसको लेकर के जाएंगे और विकसित भारत की गारंटी का संकल्प जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने दिलाया है, उनके नेतृत्व में देश उठ करके खड़ा है। भाजपा की आंधी चल रही है, तूफान चल रहा है और उस तूफान में सब परेशान हैं। इसलिए आपकी बार 400 पार, फिर एक बार प्रचंड बहुमत की मोदी सरकार।
जो आपका लक्ष्य 80 सीट यूपी में जीतने का, देश में 400 कैसे पूरा होगा?
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बूथ स्तर पर मजबूत तैयारी की है। हमारा संगठनात्मक तंत्र है, हमारी सरकार की उपलब्धियां हैं और विपक्ष नेता विहीन, नीति विहीन, नेतृत्व विहीन और पूरी तरह से इंडी गठबंधन अलग थलग पड़ गया है। सपा बसपा कांग्रेस में भगदड़ मची हुई है। बाकी विपक्षी दलों में भी सब लोग यह मान लिए हैं कि तीसरी बार मोदी सरकार बनने जा रही है।
राहुल प्रियंका का नाम नहीं आ रहा है रायबरेली अमेठी से, देर हो रही है।
कांग्रेस की समस्या है, भाजपा की समस्या नहीं है। भाजपा अमेठी तो जीतने जा रही, रायबरेली भी जीतेगी।
निर्वाचन आयोग द्वारा घोषित हम चुनाव का स्वागत करते हैं और आभार प्रकट करते हैं। जिस ढंग से मुख्य निर्वाचन आयुक्त महोदय ने देश की जनता को संबोधित किया है, सभी से अपील की है कि 100% मतदान की ओर बढ़ें, छुट्टियां न मनाएं और सब लोग एकजुट करके लोकतंत्र के इस महापर्व में शामिल हों। उत्तर प्रदेश के लिहाज से हम कह सकते हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी 80 की 80 सीटें जीतने जा रही है। माननीय मोदी जी की गरीब कल्याण योजनाओं ने जन जन में पैठ बनाई है। कोरोना महामारी के काल से लेकर अब तक उत्तर प्रदेश के सभी परिवारों का मानना है कि माननीय मोदी जी हमारे अभिभावक हैं। हम आज कह सकते हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश राज्य में मोदी जी की लहर चल रही है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ 80 की 80 सीटों पर विजयश्री हासिल करेगी।
For a short break, viewers, on the other side, it's a big development in the Liquorgate investigation. K. Kavita of the BRS has now been sent to a 7-day ED custody. We'll get you the details on the other side. Stay tuned.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bopa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio model. Niva Bopa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
just a day after the central government has now issued notification to celebrate 17th September as Hyderabad Liberation Day every year, and also at the same time now we are seeing that a movie based on the Nizam's rule, the Razakar's rule, now a movie is being released on the name Razakar. We have the producer of the film, Gudur Narayan Reddy, with us. We'll talk to him and know exactly what exactly the movie talks about. Sir, the Razakar movie is all set to release on the 15th of March. What exactly does the movie talk about? What message are you trying to put forth through this movie?
First of all, I salute our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for declaring 17th September as a Liberation Day of Hyderabad. Because it took 75 years for the pseudo-secular parties who have ruled our country to not even to consider it. And every time some political parties, for their electoral benefits, used to talk that 17th September should be the official Liberation Day, it should be celebrated officially. Today, the union government headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and also the Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji has taken a great decision. My salutes to them. Secondly, the movie Razakar is going to talk or depict exactly what happened during those dreadful 396 days. Post 15th August 1947 till 17th September 1948, till Hyderabad was liberated from the draconian rulers of Telangana, present-day Telangana, yesteryear Hyderabad province, headed by Mir Usman Ali Pasha, the then 7th Nizam. He acted so dastardly on his own people that unbelievable things have happened. Not even Nazis have committed such heinous crimes. Nizam has committed. And nobody had the guts to produce this because everyone, because a threat comes and they get scared and all that. I'm not scared. I am son of the soil. I would like to bring out the real story which happened and which was kept under the wraps all these years, 7.5 decades it took. God, Sri Lord Balaji has enlightened.
आप लोगों का कांग्रेस के लिए जो आक्रोश है वो मैं भली भांति समझ सकता हूं। कांग्रेस एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो चाहे कितने भी कपड़े बदल ले, कांग्रेस की करतूतें नहीं बदलती। में कानून व्यवस्था की धज्जियां उड़ाई जा रही, असामाजिक तत्वों को खुलेआम संरक्षण दे रही है। जनता के मन में खौफ पैदा किया जा रहा है। जनता परेशानियों से त्रस्त है और कांग्रेस
Jai Hind friends, I'm Major Gauravari and you're watching the latest news of the day. Very recently, the Prime Minister of India spoke to the Prime Minister of UK, Rishi Sunak, and both had a talk and both parties were extremely eager to take forward the free trade agreement between UK and India. In this free trade agreement, what has happened is that, it was initiated somewhere around 2022 and since then more than, I think 12 or 13 meetings have taken place and it's all coming out now in the open that, we want to partner, and this strategic partnership, a very important strategic partnership between the UK and India needs to be taken forward and we need to take it also in the economic sphere and we will give each other certain privileges and, more goods, Indian goods going to UK and more UK goods going to India, etc., etc. So there will be a lot of privileges, a lot of, tax breaks and it's a whole, this thing, which will, a whole system which will encourage Indian trade with the UK and UK trade with India. Some of the richest people in UK, especially like Mittal, who's the steel king of the United Kingdoms, he is there and a lot of rich Indians reside there, billions of pounds worth of investment, etc. So that is one part and there's a very dynamic Indian diaspora in the UK. and the UK recognizes the power of the Indian diaspora, right? If you leave aside Khalistanis, who are not Indians, by the way, I do not think we should count Khalistanis as Indians. They may have been born in India, but I think they are a blot to humanity, and we pretty much don't care about the Khalistanis. If
Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, we'll do it in 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, and last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April.
The battle lines are drawn. Election Commission announces 2-month-long electoral battle, April 19 onwards. Lok Sabha elections to be conducted in 7 phases across the country. Simultaneous polls in 4 states. Lok Sabha election results to be out on the 4th of June. Stay tuned to India's election headquarters for biggest election coverage. Congress spins EVM theories minutes after EC briefing. Is this display of nervousness ahead of the 2024 elections? OIC knocks Supreme Court's door against implementation of CAA. Repeats divisive and anti-minority theory. Big development in Liquorgate investigation. K. Kavita now sent to 7-day ED custody. Chief Election Commissioner of India, Rajiv Kumar, announced at a press conference in New Delhi on Saturday that the Lok Sabha elections 2024 will be held in 7 phases. The first notification will be on the 20th of March and the first phase of the polls will kick off on the 19th of April. Results for the polls will be out on the 4th of June. Listen in to the reactions coming in on the same.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 370 प्लस और एनडीए को 400 पार सीट देश भर से सभी देंगे, ये मैं कहता हूं। और फिर एक बार माननीय मोदी सरकार इस देश में आ रहे हैं।
मोदी जी फिर प्रधानमंत्री भारी बहुमत से बनेंगे, रिकॉर्ड तोड़ बहुमत से। वहीं कांग्रेस पूरी तरह हाशिए पर चली जाएगी और अब तक के न्यूनतम वोट कांग्रेस को, न्यूनतम वोट भी और न्यूनतम सीट भी कांग्रेस को मिलेगी।
And we're extremely confident this historic election in Tamil Nadu will truly be historic in the term that not only will BJP open its numbers in a big way, but also the number of votes that we get in Tamil Nadu will truly be path-breaking.
उत्तराखंड से हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत लगाव है और उत्तराखंड की जनता का भी। वो उनको अपने परिवार का मानते हैं, अपने घर का मानते हैं। इसलिए उत्तराखंड से 5 लोकसभा की सीटें हैं, 5 की 5 भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतेगी।
42, 45, 46 days we have to wait for the results. But we are well prepared to face the elections. DMK will win all the 44 seats and we are very confident that and we are well prepared.
आम आदमी पार्टी इस चुनाव के ऐलान का स्वागत करती है। आम आदमी पार्टी पूरी तरह से तैयार है। इंडिया गठबंधन के साथ मिल करके हम पूरी मजबूती के साथ चुनाव लड़ेंगे।
Well, I feel sad. To the Chief Election Commissioner, I'll say, you have denied us the right of being part of this nation. We have every right as Indians to have our own government.
अब चुनाव आया तो चिराग जी के साथ समझौता कर दिया, पशुपति जी को छोड़ दिया। तो भारतीय राजनीति में इस तरह के क्षण हमने कम देखे।
Now, the two major alliances have geared up to a contest what seems like a fight between the idea of a progressive Bharat and Indie Bloc's idea of India. As the nation gears up just days ahead of the voting, will the major issues like CAA, the ONOP and inflation bring the Modi government a promising third term or pave the way for a new chapter in Indian political history? Here's a report.
The stage is set for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls.
It's a grand battle between the NDA and Indie alliances. As Bharat prepares to vote, certain issues have created the biggest political firestorms over the last 5 years. The Citizenship Amendment Act notified on the 11th of March has stirred a mega debate on religious politics.
मैंने कहा 41 टाइम 41 बार अलग अलग मंचों से इसके बारे में मैंने डिटेल बात करी है कि इस देश के अल्पसंख्यक माइनॉरिटीज या तो किसी और व्यक्ति को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि सीएए में किसी की नागरिकता लेने का प्रावधान ही नहीं है। सीएए सिर्फ और सिर्फ 3 देश अफगानिस्तान, पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश से हिंदू, सिख, बौद्ध, क्रिश्चियन और पारसी जो जैन और पारसी शरणार्थी आए हैं, इनको उनका अधिकार देने का कानून है, नागरिकता देने का कानून है, जिससे इनके जीवन की वेदनाओं को हम कम कर पाए।
While the BJP has busted myths surrounding the implementation of CAA, Indie allies worry about its consequences for democratic India.
Even the service holders also, they get the green card. Even there are so many countries, they give the citizenship card also. Earlier there is a situation in all over the country also, our country also. Whoever state, DM should have issued the citizenship certificate. But now what is happening? This bill was passed in the year 2020. After that 4 years passed. Before election 2-3 days ago.
नहीं तो आप मजहब के नाम पे कोई कानून नहीं बना सकते, और सीए बिल्कुल मुस्लिम्स को टारगेट करने वाला कानून है। तो मेरी मोतबाना गुजारिश है तमाम लोगों से, खासकर मुसलमानों से, खुदा के लिए इनके जाल में मत फंसिए, अपने वोट का सही इस्तेमाल कर लीजिए और उसके बाद कानूनी तरीके से इस लड़ाई को लड़ने की जरूरत है।
सीए का कानून पास किया था। कल मैंने एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके ये समझाया कि सीए कैसे देश के लिए बेहद खतरनाक कानून है और इसे वापस लिया जाना चाहिए।
Further, taking a step closer to making it a reality, the One Nation One Poll, India's biggest electoral reform, is now more than a debate. The BJP has welcomed the long-pending move.
Former President Ramnath Kovind ji has submitted that report on One Nation, One Poll. That should be welcomed. After all, in this country, in India, we have had elections from 1951 till 67 simultaneously. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has repeatedly spoken about the benefits of it. And there are several benefits of One Nation, One Poll. The Law Commission has considered it also. Essentially, the administration, the political machinery gets involved in electioneering from time to time when it is not simultaneously held. Now when it's held simultaneously, you have an administrative and political machinery capable of working 5 years at a stretch.
Whereas the opposition considers it anti-constitutional.
Mr. Kovind is a blot on community. And Mr. Kovind is indebted and should be indebted to Dr. Ambedkar, who had given us a dignified life, who liberated us. Now his recommendations are against his spirit, against his constitution.
Another consistent issue of conflict between the two alliances has been inflation and unemployment. While Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has asserted time and again of India's confident fight against maintaining inflation at a moderate rate.
Inflation in the last year of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji's government, NDA government, was below 4%. Was below 4%. I'm not very good in Hindi, but I'm tempted to use one saying. Good ko gobar karna. Am I right? Good ko gobar karna inke mastery hai, sir.
Indie parties have used the issue to run political campaigns.
आज भाषण में दो बातें बताना चाहता हूं। नफरत का कारण बेरोजगारी और महंगाई है। बीजेपी का सिस्टम आपका ध्यान बेरोजगारी और महंगाई से हटाने के लिए नफरत पे ले जाता है।
Finally, the latest controversy that has evoked a tussle between the two sides of the political spectrum is electoral bonds. Leaders of the opposition have hit out at the BJP, alleging quid pro quo arrangements in exchange for bonds.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी खुद क्यों नहीं डिक्लेयर कर रही कि उनको किस कंपनी ने कितने पैसे के इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड दिए? केंद्र सरकार भाग क्यों रही है? क्यों सुप्रीम कोर्ट को दबाव देके, चाहे वो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हो या इलेक्शन कमीशन हो या केंद्र सरकार हो, इनसे ये जानकारी उगलवानी पड़ रही है? इसका मतलब भारतीय जनता पार्टी बातों को छुपा रही है। और जो आंकड़े मैंने दिए कि एक कंपनी के ऊपर छापा पड़ता है ईडी का, 4 दिन बाद वो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड बनाता
कि या ना तो सीबीआई इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगी ना ईडी इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगी, तो अब जिम्मेदारी कोर्ट पे है। कोर्ट क्या करती है? कोर्ट को एक जैसे 2G में एक SIT बनानी चाहिए और खुद नियुक्ति करनी चाहिए लोगों की उस SIT में।
Today it has been exposed by Supreme Court that how the BJP has made money out of these election bonds. SPI data shows donation is 50% BJP got, Congress got only 11%.
As the nation eagerly waits for India's biggest news point, the politics, the debates, the conflict, and the war of words is only set to gain momentum. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
So now, as the election poll dates have been announced, both the NDA and the Indie bloc are setting pieces on the electoral chessboard, with the NDA seemingly at an advantage and the Indie bloc trying to play catch up. Here's more on the story in this report.
The date sheet for the big elections finale has been announced, and the nation has gone into an election frenzy. With the elections around the corner, the BJP is confident of a win, a big win.
अब की बार 400 पार।
In 2019, Prime Minister made a promise.
नौजवान भी बोल रहा है, बुजुर्ग भी बोल रहे हैं, महिलाएं भी बोल रही हैं, शहर वाले भी बोल रहे हैं, किसान भी बोल रहा है, मजदूर भी बोल रहा है। अब की बार 400 पार। अब की बार
And delivered, only to now up the bar for his party.
अब की बार 400 पार। अब की बार
A thought echoed by many other in the party. The NDA, standing at a majestic 341, is much closer to its tally with 38.5% vote share. Indie, now seemingly in disarray, is far from the magic number at 119 seats, much below the 272 seat mark. The Congress, the principal party in the Lok Sabha, does not have the 50 seats in Lok Sabha, while the BJP sits at a handsome 303. With the poll dates announced, it appears that the BJP's election machinery is set for the kill, and the opposition still undecided on many key issues. It is not difficult to see where the elections are headed. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, the Supreme Court is gearing up to hear petitions seeking a stay on the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act. The Supreme Court will hear the pleas against implementing CAA on Tuesday. Now, this comes after Lok Sabha MP and AIMIM Chief Asauddin Owaisi moved the apex court. More about this in this report.
The battle for 2024 has officially begun. The Election Commission of India has announced that the general elections will be held in 7 phases, beginning on April 19th. The results will be announced on June 4th. This announcement comes less than a week after the Citizenship Amendment Act was notified, triggering a mega debate on religious politics.
ट्राइबल कॉम्पोजिशन और उनके अधिकार को हम जरा भी डाइल्यूट नहीं कर रहे हैं। हमने एक्ट में ही प्रोविजन कर दिया है कि जहां पर भी इनर लाइन परमिट है और जहां संविधान की 6ठी सूची में जो क्षेत्र शामिल किए गए हैं, इन पर वहां पर सीएए नहीं लागू होगा और वहां के एड्रेस वाला एप्लीकेशन भी ऐप में अपलोड ही नहीं होता है, तो लागू होने का सवाल ही नहीं आता है। और एक्ट में ही प्रोविजन है, मगर हमने एप्लीकेशन में भी वो एरिया को एक्सक्लूड कर दिया है। कोई अप्लाई करेगा भी वो वहां से तो नहीं, ऐप ही नहीं खुलेगा।
Lok Sabha MP and AIMIM Chief Asauddin Owaisi has moved the Supreme Court seeking a stay on implementation of CAA.
अमित शाह ने मेरा नाम लेकर पार्लियामेंट में नहीं कहा, ओवैसी जी एनपीआर भी होगा, एनआरसी भी होगा। क्या टीवी के इंटरव्यू अमित शाह ने नहीं कहा एनपीआर एनआरसी? तो इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि बांग्लादेश, पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान से जो लोग आ गए, आप बराबर दो उनको, मगर मजहब की बुनियाद पर क्यों? फिर बोलते नहीं इस्लामिक कंट्री है। अरे इस्लामिक कंट्री है तो मैं तो नहीं गया ना इस्लामिक कंट्री।
रूलिंग पार्टी नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री की सरकार ने इसको पास किया, तो वो लोग इसको दबा के रखे अपने पास, अपने बगल में दबा के रखे, और जैसे ही उनको मालूम था कि 1 हफ्ते के अंदर इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया लोकसभा के चुनाव की डेट्स अनाउंस करेगा, उन्होंने रात में ये रूल्स का ऐलान कर दिया। जब सरकार चुनाव को सामने रखकर फैसला ले रही है तो ये बहुत गलत बात है कि आप मुझसे सवाल कर रहे हैं कि मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्यों जा रहा हूं।
The Congress has also expressed strong opposition to CAA.
भारत की नागरिकता के लिए कानून बना हुआ है, सीएए की आवश्यकता ही नहीं थी। ये भारत की नागरिकता को के अंतर्गत कोई भी व्यक्ति किसी धर्म का अगर वो भारत में आकर नागरिक बनना चाहता है, उसके नियम है, उसका कानून है, और कई लोगों को नागरिकता दी गई है। मैं तो एक बात और कहता हूं, 2019 में ये कानून लाए, इनको 5 साल क्यों लगे नियम बनाने में?
जो अप्रोच है मोदी जी सरकार के खिलाफ, तेलंगाना को वही सोच है। हमारा केंद्र अध्यक्ष या हमारा पार्टी नेता लोग जो बोल रहे हैं वही बात हम मदद दे रहे हैं, इसमें कोई फर्क नहीं है। मगर तेलंगाना में जो नाटक चल रहा है, ये नाटकबाज बंद करो बोल के हम कह रहे हैं।
The opposition has come together to reject CAA, and the Supreme Court will hear pleas against CAA on Tuesday. Amid this, with the Election Commission releasing the poll schedule, the battle for 2024 has officially begun. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
In some more news, Prime Minister Modi had launched BJP's Lok Sabha campaign from Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge's home turf in Karnataka, that is in Kalaburgi. He slammed the Congress at the mega rally, stating that the people are well aware of the games that the Grand Old Party plays. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy is all set to enter the election fray in the upcoming Andhra Pradesh State Assembly elections. The CM has announced he will contest from the Pulivendula constituency for a third time to seek another mandate for his government. The Kerala government has taken action by approaching the Supreme Court, asserting that CAA contradicts the secular nature of Indian constitution. Their petition aims to halt the implementation of the act by the centre and requests a stay on the ordinance that notifies the amendment rules. Ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, Gujarat Home Minister Harsh Sanghvi flagged off more than 300 new buses of GSRTC. He also reiterated that the country has made up its mind to make PM Modi victorious again. Congress General Secretary Organisation KC Venugopal has alleged corruption in the process of distributing electoral bonds to the BJP, emphasising that more information will surface soon. Venugopal also expressed readiness for upcoming elections and highlighted the concerns over the freezing of principal opposition parties' bank accounts prior to the polls. Acharya Pramod Krishnam defended Prime Minister Modi's intentions on the electoral bonds, arguing against doubting them. He asserted that all political parties receive donations, questioning the labelling of contributing companies as thieves. Krishnam criticised the opposition for echoing Rahul Gandhi's mindset, deeming it unfortunate for the nation. Trouble is mounting for BRS leader K. Kavita, who was taken into custody by the Enforcement Directorate at his residence in Hyderabad on Friday in connection with Delhi liquor policy case. Now, K. Kavita was produced at the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi on Saturday, describing her arrest as unlawful. The BRS leader has vowed to vigorously contest it. Here's a report on that.
After a dramatic showdown and hour-long raids at K. Kavita's premises in Hyderabad, the BRS MLC was arrested in a money laundering case linked to the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. K. Kavita, who was presented at the Rouse Avenue Court in the national capital, has called the arrest illegal and has vowed to fight it.
Ma'am, would you like to say something? It's an illegal arrest. We're going to fight it out. Ma'am, would you like to say something? It's an illegal arrest. We're going to fight it out.
Senior advocate Vikram Chaudhary lashed out at the ED's move and termed the arrest a blatant use of power. The Delhi court has remanded BRS leader K. Kavita to ED custody till March 23. Meanwhile, BRS leaders staged a massive protest at Siddipet against the arrest. The politics around the arrest is boiling, with the opposition launching a two-pronged attack on BJP and BRS.
हम लोग हमेशा एक ही बात बोलते हैं, आपको क्या चाहिए, आइस और नाइस। आइस का मतलब इनकम टैक्स, सीबीआई, ईडी। नाइस का मतलब नारकोटिक्स, इनकम टैक्स, सीबीआई, ईडी। तो मोदी जी का फ्रंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चाहिए। ये फ्रंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को जब चुनाव आएंगे तब वो फ्रंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को इस्तेमाल करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
जो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हुआ करते थे वो आज इंस्टीट्यूशंस हिंदुस्तान के नहीं है, चाहे वो इलेक्शन कमीशन हो, चाहे वो सीबीआई हो, ईडी हो, ये सब हो, ये अब बीजेपी और आरएसएस के हथियार हैं। ये हिंदुस्तान के इंस्टीट्यूशंस नहीं रहे, इसीलिए ये जो हो रहा है ये हो पा रहा है।
देखिए, जहाँ भी भ्रष्टाचार एक ऐसा विषय है जिस पर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने दो टूक कहा है कि हम न किसी को छोड़ेंगे और न किसी को फंसाएंगे, तो स्पष्ट रूप से है कि भ्रष्टाचार में कोई भी अगर संलिप्त होगा या जिस भी प्रकार के कोई मामले आएंगे तो कार्रवाई तो होगी।
As we are aware that from past 10 years when the KCR was in power in Telangana. The KCR's family has been involved in huge scams, and one of them is Delhi liquor scam. So this case has been, it just happened in Delhi, where many people have been involved. After thorough investigations, Kavita has been found. They had the substantial evidence, so she has been booked.
With AAP leader Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh languishing behind bars, the big question is, what exactly is the ED going to uncover after getting 7-day custody of K. Kavita? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Dialogue is home to me now. It's my friend and it's my enemy. In the end, it keeps me alive. Only watch very carefully because it's a hideous disease. It's horrible because it's so contagious, and it's the extent of damage to a human being is totally unpredictable. Mine was extensive. One of the worst cases ever recorded, and I'm still here.
This is Republic Diva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. KCR's daughter, K. Kavita, has been arrested today in the Delhi Liquorgate scam. We're going to talk about it. Today, a team of 10 ED officers from Delhi came. They carried out extensive searches and then they arrested her. This moment, ladies and gentlemen, should settle a few things. K. Kavita, like Arvind Kejriwal, has been singing on about the conspiracy of vendetta. In March 2023, K. Kavita was the same politician who sought a fresh date from the ED for summons because of a scheduled hunger strike on the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill, just like Arvind Kejriwal is doing now. K. Kavita is the same individual who has skipped multiple summons of the ED this year itself, just like Arvind Kejriwal is doing now. K. Kavita is the same individual who went to the ends of the earth to taint the ED as a politically motivated agency, just as Arvind Kejriwal is doing now. And K. Kavita, despite all of that, is under arrest today. Whether K. Kavita gets bail or not will be a matter decided by the courts of law. But just like the courts of law have kept Manish Sisodia under custody for 383 days, barring sporadic interim bail on personal grounds, he's been inside jail. Now, if this is telling me something, what is it? It is that Arvind Kejriwal should realize.
Your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
Just a day after the central government has now issued notification to celebrate 17th September as Hyderabad Liberation Day every year, and also at the same time now we are seeing that a movie based on the Nizam's rule, the Razakar's rule, now a movie is being released on the name Razakar. We have the producer of the film, Gudur Narayan Reddy, with us. We'll talk to him and know exactly what the movie talks about. Sir, the Razakar movie is all set to release on the 15th of March. What exactly does the movie talk about? What message are you trying to put forth through this movie?
First of all, I salute our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, for declaring 17th September as a Liberation Day of Hyderabad. Because it took 75 years for the pseudo-secular parties who have ruled our country to not even to consider it. And every time some political parties, for their electoral benefits, used to talk that 17th September should be the official Liberation Day, it should be celebrated officially. Today, the union government headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and also the Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji has taken a great decision. My salutes to them. Secondly, the movie Razakar is going to talk or depict exactly what happened during those dreadful 396 days. Post 15th August 1947 till 17th September 1948, till Hyderabad was liberated from the draconian rulers of
Hello and welcome. You watching the Weekend Debate with me, Shavin. And ladies and gentlemen, the festival of democracy has begun. The dates for the general elections have already been announced. The poll bugle too has also been sounded. It is now quite clear that the BJP is essentially determined to make a serious attempt at getting 400 plus. And it's not just a mere slogan, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I'm saying this is because Prime Minister Narendra Modi goes into the election as the leader of one of the biggest coalition of an alliance in the history of India. Unlike the Congress, the BJP has shuffled its decks, shuffles its candidates and shuffles those government and politically responsibility every few years. It also brings in people with domain experience without hardcore political experience in critical positions, and as always the opposition, who is in forever is suffering from the foot in the mouth disease, has predictably served itself a self-goal ahead of the election. From no strategy, no planning and resorting to abuse politics, the India has hit the hammer on its foot. The India is completely breaking apart and till date has no face that can stand tall against the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So as the battle lines are drawn, the question is who exactly has the edge in this battle for 2024, and that's the Weekend Debate tonight. And also what we are essentially going to also focus, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the fact that why exactly has the India alliance, which appears to be only on paper, not been able to even perhaps field its heavyweights. That's the Weekend Debate tonight.
Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification. Last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April.
As battle for 2024 begins, BJP is on an all-out 400 plus mission, but how well prepared are the contenders? That's the debate tonight. Lok Sabha elections to be conducted in 7 phases across the country, simultaneous polls in 4 states. Lok Sabha election results to be out on 4th of June. Stay tuned to India's election headquarters for the biggest election coverage.
बिना चुनाव कैसे कह देते हैं? ये कि इसके पास क्या तिलस्मी है? ये क्या जादूगर है? क्या है?
Congress spins the EVM theories minutes after EC briefing. Is this display of nervousness on 2024 polls? Overseas knocks Supreme Court's door against implementation of CAA, repeats divisive and anti-minority theory. Big development in Liquorgate investigation. K. Kavitha now sent to 7-day ED custody. Well, the anticipation is over. The Election Commission has announced the schedule for the general election 2024 and for assembly elections in Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Orissa as well as Sikkim. By-polls in 26 assembly constituencies will be held in correspondence with polls in these states. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking a third consecutive term in the marathon 6-week vote, the world's largest democratic exercise. Challenging him is the India Alliance, led by the Congress party. But the question is, who exactly has the edge? And before we play out the report, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. On the one hand, you have the Bharatiya Janata Party that has fielded some of its big names. Sitting union ministers to former chief ministers have all been fielded. On the other hand, you have the Congress party, which has essentially fielded only its leader who has been on what many would say discovery of India. And he says that he is going to deliver Nyaya for the entire nation. It's only him. And apart from that, you've essentially not heard any of the top leaders of the Congress party being fielded, starting from the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge all the way to senior leaders like Kamal Nath and several others. None of them have been fielded. Many say that some are still worried of contesting the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. So if the India Alliance essentially says that they are here to protect the constitution and against the dictatorial behavior of the Bharatiya Janata Party, then who exactly is contesting against the Prime Minister? Here's a report and then we begin the weekend debate.
The poll bugle has been sounded. The Election Commission, in its much anticipated briefing, announced the dates for the 2024 elections today. The Lok Sabha polls will be held in 7 phases from April 19th to June 1st. The counting will be held on June 4th.
Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, phase 1. We'll do it in 7 phases, as was done last time. 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, 5 days from now. And last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April.
The first phase will be held on April 19, when Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Jammu and Kashmir, Lakshadweep and Puducherry will go to polls. The second phase will be held on April 26th, when Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Manipur, Rajasthan, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Jammu and Kashmir will go to polls. Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Diu and Jammu and Kashmir will go to polls in the third phase on May 7th. Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir will go to polls in Phase 4 on May 13. Phase 5 will be held on May 20th. Polling will be held in Bihar, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. In Phase 6 on May 25th, Bihar, Haryana, Jharkhand, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Delhi will vote. And the polls will be concluded on June 1st, which will be the last phase or Phase 7 when voting will be held in Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Chandigarh. Meanwhile, assembly elections will also be held in Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Odisha and Sikkim. Soon after the announcement, Prime Minister Modi and other BJP leaders exuded confidence.
पूरा राष्ट्र तैयार है कि विकास के नए शिखर को छूने के लिए पुनः नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व में सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी का गठबंधन बनाएगा।
अब की बार 400 पार इस संकल्प को सिद्धि तक ले जाने में हमारा योगदान करें।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बूथ स्तर पर मजबूत तैयारी की है। हमारा संगठनात्मक तंत्र है, हमारी सरकार की उपलब्धियां हैं, इसलिए अब की बार 400 पार, फिर एक बार प्रचंड बहुमत की मोदी सरकार।
विनाशकाले विपरीत बुद्धि। कांग्रेस अब तक के इतिहास की सबसे कम सीटें प्राप्त करेगी और आज तो यही तय नहीं कौन सी प्राप्त करेगी।
Meanwhile, some in the opposition cast aspirations.
All development work will be tough. According to me, it's not good. He could have completed within 3 or 4.
बिना छेड़छाड़ ईवीएम, बिना चुनाव कैसे कह देते हैं? ये कि इसके पास क्या तिलस्मी है? ये क्या जादूगर है? क्या है?
To the Chief Election Commissioner, I'll say, you have denied us the right of being part of this nation. We have every right as Indians to have our own government.
ये जो मौजूदा भाजपा है ना, ये अपने राजनीतिक हित को साधने के लिए किसी भी एक्सटेंट तक जा सकती है, अभी देखते रहिए।
All political parties will be putting their best foot forward as the biggest festival of democracy is about to begin. Will PM Modi take a leap forward to his third consecutive term? Or will India Alliance be able to mark a significant dent in NDA's 400 par target? Let's debate.
On the weekend debate tonight from the BJP, Anila Singh, Shubhrashtra columnist, author, Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, Vivek Silas, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Akashdeep Muni, leaning towards the Aam Aadmi Party, Professor Monojit Mondal, political analyst, leaning towards the Trinamool Congress. Let me open this debate by taking the opening remark from Anila Singh. Anila Singh, we are talking on a day when there has been a major setback that your government has also faced with regards to electoral bond. The opposition parties have made a stinging allegation. They say that this was a mode of extortion that was carried out by the government. The reason being that if you really look at some of those companies, or for that matter, organizations that have bought the bonds, were under the scanner of the central agencies, including the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. Aam Aadmi Party says that this is the gundagardi of the Bharatiya Janata Party. That's the perception that is being created. As you go into the elections, you have encashed many of those bonds, and it turns out that this bond was a form of an extortion that was carried out.
My Ram to all, and they are not able to make any perception, because whenever they are going to make a comment on Bharatiya Janata Party, that you have got electoral bonds from this corporate and ED or IT or any other investigative agencies, they were doing their queries on these corporates, and yet you got the electoral bonds from them. So we have to ask, so what about you? Why did you take funding? So when electoral bonds are being purchased, they are purchased in white money.
Here, Anila Singh,
and they are with SBI. It's a bank.
No, but the question here is that if you have Lottery King, who has been under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate, his son has joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. Anila, the argument that they are saying that it is not that right now, it could be that no one really knows who has actually used it because the unique numbers have not been disclosed. But the fact of the matter is also this, that Lottery King, who has actually given the maximum or has bought the maximum number of bonds, there is a linkage that has been, found out with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Hence, they are asking this question that isn't it true that a person who is under the scan of the central agency within few weeks is actually buying electoral bonds?
So what is wrong in that? What is wrong in that? If Bharatiya Janata Party had something fishy about it, then they would have bought electoral bonds. Because when Supreme Court asked about the electoral bonds names, the list is...
There is nothing to hide. There is nothing to hide because we have not done anything wrong. If the investigative agencies, they have to do their job, we are here to do the politics. Supreme Court or any other court, they have to do their judicial work. I think that Bharatiya Janata Party is going to say no, because you are under the scanner of these agencies or you are
absolutely right.
You are under trial.
Plundering openly.
So when electoral bonds are being bought in white, so what is the problem in that?
Professor Monojit, I'll allow you to come in. Please don't butt in like this.
Parties, even they have, even they have their names in the list, so they don't have any problem in that. Perhaps their problem is that why lion's share is with
Professor Mondal.
Party.
Okay.
Yes.
Got your point, Anila, saying, Professor Mondal was quite amused. Now, let me ask you this question, Professor Mondal. As far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, the Trinamool Congress is also a beneficiary of the electoral bond. So it is not only about the Bharatiya Janata Party. One also could raise the same questions as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned. I want to take the debate a little further because, this is not about the electoral bonds, it's about the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. And let's understand this. Let's understand this, Professor Mondal, as far as, let's begin with West Bengal. When you entered the India alliance, you said that we're going to fight the Bharatiya Janata Party, the anarchy, this is about saving the constitution, this is about saving the democracy. But the reality is this, that you can't even save an alliance that you actually entered. You ended up telling the Congress party that you don't even deserve one single seat. So much so Mamata Banerjee goes and tells the Congress that this time perhaps you may not even remain the principal opposition party. So whom exactly are you fighting? Are you fighting the Bharatiya Janata Party or are you fighting the Congress party?
I'll answer this question, but I'll take the electoral bonds issue. You asked me about TMC getting benefits. It was legal. The TMC did not send ED, CBI or income tax department to a particular company this day and tomorrow, the other day, they are they are buying bonds from TMC. That did not happen. In case of BJP, at least half a dozen company, DLA, Jindal Steel, that gaming company that you mentioned, gaming and future gaming and hotel company. How many companies? Today ED goes there, tomorrow income tax goes there, day after tomorrow CBI goes there. Within a span of 3-4 days, the same companies are buying bonds and everything stops. Iska matlab ye hai, chhapa maro, chanda lo. Chhapa maro, chanda lo. This was the means of BJP, and that's why what I am trying to say, this is deeply concerning for the whole of the nation. What kind of democracy are we living in at this point in time? What kind of democracy is that? Only there is a facade of democracy. The people are voting, but ultimately it will be again dominated by one single party. If that is the case, then God save this country. Coming back to a question about alliance, Trinamool Congress, as far as my political reading goes, they made it amply clear that with Adit Chaudhary Congress, there cannot be any alliance in Bengal. That doesn't mean that TMC is not in the India alliance. Look, TMC has got an alliance with Samajwadi Party in UP. TMC is fighting one particular seat that is being left by Samajwadi Party. TMC has got alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. Everywhere TMC will have alliance, but not in Bengal, because Bengal Congress is not the national Congress that we were part of at one point of time. This is Adit Chaudhary Congress, and Adit Chaudhary is remote controlled by BJP and
Professor
CPIM.
Professor Mondal, I think so it's a complete sham when any of you from the opposition parties say that you are serious about fighting these elections against the Bharatiya Janata Party, because each one of you have only shown streaks of being selfish. The reason why you are... No, I'll tell you, Professor Mondal, I'll tell you why. I'll substantiate my argument. I'm not just going to say this as some sort of a rhetoric. I'm substantiating this. The Aam Aadmi Party also says this, that okay, look here, I'm going to give you 1 or 2 seats here because we are not strong in other places. The places that I'm strong in Punjab, I'm strong in, I'll not concede space. Same goes for your party. Trinamool Congress does not want to, concede space in the state of West Bengal, because you know that is perhaps the only place where you can fight. Outside, you may not even get anything. So it doesn't matter. We'll show alliance ka badappan outside, but not the very place that you are contesting. Shubrashtra, I'll come back to you. But it's very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate because I think so. The reality is that no one has the gumption. No one has the gumption right now to fight. If at all you were serious about fighting the Bharatiya Janata Party on various issues, like what you say, that the numbers in terms of poverty declining in this country can be contested. If you are saying that unemployment is on the rise, these are all lip service. This is all lip service. Shubrashtra, narrative has been said. Unfortunately, is that you can't even fight the narrative. You don't, Professor Mondal, none of you from the opposition party.
You are completely
not at all. Professor Mondal, as a student of sociology.
This time it will be TMC who will fight BJP
sorry,
out of
Professor
Bengal.
Mondal. I don't belong to any of the sides. Professor Mondal, I don't have the burden. Professor Mondal, please hear me out. No, Professor Mondal, unlike you. Professor Mondal, unlike you.
Even the recent history 3 years back.
Professor Mondal.
Who fought BJP out in 2021? Congress, CPI.
I will answer all you.
Who fought BJP out? Who fought BJP out in 2021? Answer this question.
Can I now?
Yes.
First of all, Professor Mondal, unlike you, I don't have the burden of defending any one particular side. If at all the side that I've taken is the side for the nation. I'll answer that. Don't worry. In the course of the weekend, in the course of the debate, this is a long debate.
Don't
hear me out. In the course of this long debate, 1 minute, hold on. 1 second. I don't have to hide behind anything. I am only answerable to my viewers. It is my job. It is my job as an anchor to ask the question. But Shubrashtra, I want to bring. I will answer your question. Hold on, Professor Mondal. Professor Mondal, no one. Professor Mondal, you can't accuse me. You can't accuse me of taking any sides. First of all, secondly, I think so. As a citizen of this nation,
most neutral channels in the world.
1 second. I am only asking. My only simple question is that. My simple question is that this very India alliance. Hold on. This very India alliance had declared in those various manthans that you had across the country.
Simple question.
I will answer. You said you fought the BJP. You fought the BJP in the state of West Bengal. Then you said that I will go to the northeastern states, and then you failed miserably. 1 second. First of all, Professor Mondal, listen.
So who is fighting BJP
Shubrashtra,
in
let me
Bengal?
bring you in, and I'll answer your question. Don't be. You simply say that you are just a regional party. You are a regional party. You can't think beyond West Bengal, and don't say that you are really in a position to fight the Bharatiya Janata Party. Because if you actually were serious about it, today you would have been in a position of navigating it. You are not in a position of navigating anything right now.
It is the third largest party in the parliament. Unfortunately, you are not in a position of navigating.
It is the third Professor Mondal, the debate is not between just me and you. Hold on. Professor Mondal, this debate is not about the state of just West Bengal. We are talking about the national politics. Let me bring in Shubrashtra right now. Shubrashtra, Professor Mondal, please hold on. Calm down. We were talking about the perception that has been built.
Cool
as far as
breeze
the
is around
BJP is
Kolkata.
concerned. Hold on, Professor Mondal. Please don't interrupt me like this.
Extremely cool breeze
Professor
around in
Mondal,
Kolkata. Please ask your friend.
please don't interrupt me like this. I don't. Okay. Shubhrashtra, the perception that has been created with the whether at all the Bharatiya Janata Party actually crosses along with the NDA crosses 400 or not, that's a different aspect altogether. There are two perceptions that have been created. As far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, the opposition was hoping that with this electoral bond, it's going to come across as a big setback. Yes, questions ought to be asked of the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially keeping in mind if there are firms that were basically under the scanner of the central agencies, how did they, if you look at the timings, they are suspicious. Some questions are inevitably that is going to be asked. As far as the opposition is concerned, the second aspect is this. The second perception that the BJP is creating of the opposition here is that opposition seems to be in complete disarray, leaving space for the Bharatiya Janata Party almost looking like it is a walk over for them. Many would argue that this does not augur well for a healthy democracy if there is absolutely no fight. There is zero fight in this election.
I absolutely agree with you that a democracy is not meant to be a space where there are no challenge to ideas and there are no challenge to a political entity becoming almost hegemonic. But before we get down that route, let me put a few data points on the table. Let us remember that Bharatiya Janata Party, despite its strength politically across India, there are certain pockets in which BJP is not that strong. Howsoever, look at the body language of the opposition. The body language of the opposition is such that it gives Bharatiya Janata Party double the confidence than the party itself is confident of. And I think this is the most challenging situation that we have in front of us as citizens. If the body language of the opposition is not that of a challenger, if the body language of the opposition is that of a crybaby every time there is a political issue up for grabs, I think Bharatiya Janata Party should not be put in the dock for issues that the opposition keeps raising. Let us understand very clearly on the issue of electoral bonds, for instance. The opposition could have taken a moral position and said that, well, things have been wrong in the past. Historically, India has not been very, open about who funds which political party. And then they could have gone on to explain what is wrong with electoral bonds and what not. However, the positioning of the opposition is as if they have never taken any money from any corporate, as if the CBI and the ED and the other agencies, which in the words of a famous ideological state apparatus has never been used in this country. So that kind of moral positioning becomes very difficult for the opposition to explain and for citizens to digest. My point is, why cannot the opposition come out with an honest political narrative? It is very interesting and it is very important that we are at a point in our democracy where actually everything is in a flux. And thanks to Mr. Modi, that the way in which he has almost settled, all ideological issues that the BJP came up with in the very first place, there is time for a new kind of narrative that can be brought in the country. But if the opposition is hell-bent on playing the same broken record over and over, then there's nothing that can really happen.
Pankaj Sharbat, Shubhrashtra puts it in a beautiful manner that in a country like us, as vibrant as it is, one would have certainly expected that this election would be an election where you would have diverse opinions from where you can actually choose. But look at, I'll contrast this. The Prime Minister, today when he was speaking, he was talking about startups. The Prime Minister says that the word startup for the longest time was only associated with Bengaluru, which is a fact. But the reality is this, today in 600 districts of this country, we have startups. The language that the Prime Minister has essentially been using is about Viksit Bharat. Contrast that, Pankaj Sharma, with what today the leader of the opposition, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, is saying. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying that why exactly is the Bharatiya Janata Party constantly saying, ab ki baar 400 bar, ab ki baar 400 par? Is there some sort of a malfunctioning within the EVM? Trust me, as a citizen, what choice do I have? What are you really offering me? One which is all about negativity, one that does not give me an alternative, one that does not give me a vision. And that's where the problem lies, Pankaj Sharma. It is not about the Prime Minister. The fixation that the opposition has only with the Prime Minister has actually blinded them to such an extent that they cannot offer an alternative to the people. People, if they even want to choose, they do not have an alternative, Pankaj Sharma.
See, opposition, I don't think has any fixation. And since you have raised this EVM thing, and today our Chief Election Commissioner also, commented on this. And when I was watching his press conference, it was a little disappointing to see Chief Election Commissioner ridiculing the entire opposition while announcing the election dates. He must realize that the doubts raised on EVMs is a very crucial issue and cannot be a subject of any shero shairi. Taunting opposition by saying adhuri, hasrate and all that was really in a very bad taste. CEC was not only insensitive towards opposition's concerns, but in fact his bias was on bare skin display. How can the nation believe that he would make any true efforts to provide level playing field during general elections?
The question that many would ask. Pankaj, as an ordinary citizen, let me then ask you, I'm confused because the Congress party is in power in at least few states. They have been in power, were in Rajasthan, they were in power in Madhya Pradesh, and all of those elections happened through EVM. The moment you come to power, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy does not talk about the EVMs. The Karnataka Chief Minister then does not talk about EVMs.
See, fixing EVMs or not fixing EVMs is a different question. See, I would welcome if my Prime Minister comes back for the third time. Today, you must have seen, I don't know if you have seen, Prime Minister posted a meticulously drawn out lengthy tweet after the announcement of poll dates. I sincerely bow before his desire expressed in this tweet. Do you know what did he aspire to? He says, in coming 5 years, he will be establishing the roadmap for the next 1,000 years to make India the embodiment of prosperity, all-round growth and global leadership. Sir, do you know Indus Valley civilization is around only 8,000-9,000 years old? And I am really proud to have a Prime Minister who has resolved to make a roadmap for next 1,000 years in his third term. 200 years future roadmap he'll prepare every year. It is strangely tremendous. I won't call it entertaining like 2 crore jobs every year Jumla was. I seriously feel Modi hai, to mumkin hai. We at least have someone who has a vision for 1,000 years ahead from now. He has taught us how to think big. So Narendra Bhai, he thinks very big. Let me complete in 1 minute. I'll take 1 minute more. In last National Council, National Executive of BJP, what did he say? He told his workers that we should get 370 additional votes on each and every booth across the country. Today, CEC told us that there would be 10 and a half lakh booths. So, 370 additional votes on all these booths means 39 crore votes. In last election in 2019, BJP got around 23 crore votes. So, as per Narendra Bhai Modi, BJP should get 62 crore votes. There are nearly 97 crore voters this time. Last time, the poll percentage was 67. Let's presume it will increase and it would be 70% this time. So 68 crore people will go to polling booths to vote. And out of those 68 crores, Narendra Bhai's party will get 62 crore votes. And others will be finished within 6 crore votes. So after hearing this, all the closed-eyed and closed-minded worshippers are singing the song of 370, 370, 400, 400, 370, where the ground reality is that BJP this time is starving for getting even the clear majority of 272. This is the ground situation.
Okay. I think so. The, psephology that you have actually done, Pankaj Sharma, right now, one will have to wait till 4th of June to actually realize that was your psephology that very correct. But Anila Singh, the opposition parties constantly say that for 10 years that you have been in power, most, as Pankaj Sharma says, is almost like Jumla, because you promised about the jobs that were to be provided that were not provided. But the fact of the matter is this, that the opposition parties are constantly hitting out that you have allies. The allies are not political parties. The allies are central agency, arms of the central agency. And there is no level playing field for them.
All right. Just now I was listening to Mr. Pankaj and he was saying that ground reality is that NDA is not going to get clear majority even, and they are claiming for 400 par, 400 par is par. 370 Bharatiya Janata Party or NDA ka parivar 400 par. Definitely we are claiming and we are going to get that. I don't know, you have done your groundwork on which grounds. Perhaps they are not in our country, not in our nation, Bharat, maybe somewhere else. But the reality is the type of vote percentage support we are getting, and we are pretty confident. We have seen many surveys. I come from Uttar Pradesh. Last elections, Uttar Pradesh people voted 50% share to Bharatiya Janata Party or the NDA.
If you look at the numbers also, so the reason why when you are asking, is it,
which is
there are
known
two theories,
that whoever...
Anila, sorry I'm interrupting, because, I want to get into a little specifics of it. There are two theories behind this Ab Ki Baar 400 par. One is that you're simply doing it because you want to spook the opposition parties ki pehle haar maan jao. The second is basically what you are essentially trying to do is create a situation where you have the opposition party simply beforehand, like it has actually, it seems that it's working, because if you see, the Congress party has not fielded a single of its top guns. None of the heavyweights have actually gone in. Where exactly are you deriving those numbers from? Because a simple calculation from at least particular states like Tamil Nadu, even if you actually go beyond opening your account and perhaps going with a few more seats, you're hoping that the numbers are going to change in the state of Karnataka. But even then, it does not really cross.
Surely if they want to get spooked, let them get spooked. If they are scared of Narendra Modi ji, let them be, because they have made this alliance because they are scared of Narendra Modi, his popularity, his work. That is why they have made this alliance, because they know it very well that if they are going to contest in isolation, they can't defeat Narendra Modi. So they thought that, okay, let us take a chance, let us come together and let us make a strategy and defeat him this time.
Akash Deep is not agreeing to that.
See, and they are trying to
does not agree.
Let me complete, please. Let me complete. I just have to say that the only mistake this opposition is doing is that still they are trying to contest elections on old classical way. And here if I talk about Narendra Modi ji, he understands the...
Shravan. Okay. Shravan, it is very interesting.
Akashdeep, before you answer this question, also answer this. Do you think, just answer this question of mine also while you respond to everyone that has spoken. Do you believe that somewhere down the line, the regional parties have not been able to put up the fight that they wished to, because the way they were treated by the Congress party all this while? Because what happened during the state elections also in Madhya Pradesh, we saw that bitter fight that Mr. Silas's party had with the Congress party. And for the longest time, everyone is saying that, we wanted to hurry up. Aam Aadmi parties, Arvind Kejriwal went on saying that ki jaldi karo, screening committees baithao, seat sharing talks jaldi khatam karo. There was that eagerness to fight, at least from the regional parties. You have been bogged down or perhaps pulled down because of the Congress party's inability to take everyone together?
See, Shravanji, I have always said, and previously I have said on your show as well, that there has been some lethargy in terms of seat sharing, and that they should have been finalized much earlier. But coming on to the point of elections 2024, I can see the weakest Modi ji today than what I saw in 2014. Now, let me substantiate why I say this. Just remember, in 2014, na khaunga na khane dunga, and today he has the ones on which he said that इनको चक्की पिसाएंगे, उनको गले लगाना पड़ रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अजित पवार, इन्हीं को तो बोला था चक्की पिसवाएंगे जिस दिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी आ जाए. आज उनके साथ ही है, उनको डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर बना दिया है, उनको गले लगा रहे हैं. क्या करें भाई, अब करना पड़ेगा because it's 2024. Now let me come to the moot point of electoral bonds. Shravan, from 30 electoral bonds, 14 has been raided by ED, IT or some other agencies. The examples are Future Gaming, who has been raided on 2nd April, and then he bought bonds on 7th April. Microlabs raided on 14 July, bought bonds on 10th October. Arvinda Pharma raided on 10th November, bought bonds on 15th November. Sai Electricals raided on 20th December, and then bought bonds on 11th January. I can go on and on and on. There are many. But interestingly, there are some who have bought bonds on 10th January, and then on 7th March, they have got the projects. That is torrent power. The others are also there who have bought bonds, Warsaw Sea Link, who bought bonds on 10th January 2022 and got the tender in 24 Jan 2022. My point is that I am not saying that these are linked directly. I am saying that whosoever has got the bonds, we today don't know that who has got the bonds because of the linkages. So be it BJP, TMC, Aam Aadmi Party, anybody. Will the BJP panelists today say that if the bonds who have the raided companies who have bought the bonds, if they have given it to Bharatiya Janata Party, then the accounts of Bharatiya Janata Party should be attached as ED has raided them and as it becomes proceeds of crime. So will Anila Singh ji acknowledge that जिसको भी ये पैसा गया है उसके अकाउंट्स को अटैच कर देना चाहिए ईडी के द्वारा, क्योंकि वो प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम में आ जाता है. I'll just end with the just simple thing. Remember, Shravan, recently, just last 10 seconds and then I'll... Remember recently CR Patil was speaking, and while they सरपंच said that वडोदरा में सब हमारे गांव में एक भी प्राइमरी स्कूल नहीं है, बहुत सालों से आपकी सरकार है गुजरात में, हमारे गांव में एक भी स्कूल नहीं है, बनवाएंगे. टैक्स फायदे में है, भारत फायदे में है, मोदी जी विकास चाहते हैं, स्कूल एक भी क्यों नहीं है? ये वीडियो ऑनलाइन है, प्लीज दर्शकों जाके देखिए.
Okay, Shubhrashtra, you've heard what Akashdeep Puni has to say. So does Pankaj Sharma, because everyone seems to be, revolving around right now the electoral bond argument. But you've, put that out in a very succinct manner. That if at all they could have taken that high moral ground, they could have simply come out in the open by saying that, look here, we have got the funding from XYZ, organizations. We take the high moral ground on this entire matter. We don't have to wait for the unique numbers to be given on this entire thing. So how do you essentially look at some of these arguments that have been put forth?
Look, all said and done, I think the complaint against the opposition as a citizen of this country who really wants to see a healthy fight in a democracy would consistently remain. I don't see any of these people raising any argument about the common men of this country, men and women of this country. I don't see them taking any political fight to a logical conclusion. Look, Bharat Jodo Yatra, Bharat Jodo Nyay Yatra, whatever Rahul Gandhi, however he anointed it and named it, it comes to an end right before the elections would happen. Please explain to me the logical consistency of this. there is a political leader out there in the open who has ambition, prime ministerial ambition, so that's what we are made to believe, he ends a political yatra right before the model code is supposed to be announced. How are we supposed to fathom it and take that entire narrative as a serious narrative? And do you see anybody in the opposition actually coming forward and saying that yes, we do have a problem with Rahul, with this kind of a fickle mindedness of Rahul Gandhi? I don't see any opposition leader worth their salt actually coming in challenging Rahul Gandhi on pure merit, pure arguments of merit, which is why, by the way, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party is in a suit today. If people like you and I can argue and say that there are problems within the Congress, I just want to understand, why don't the regional parties show some spine, show some electoral data which is right there in front of them, which shows that they are mighty? Why can't they go and show the mirror to the Congress party? I don't want to circumambulate and skirt away the real issue and talk about some of these banal arguments which are being made, because the point of the matter is this, that tomorrow when people would go out to vote in this general election, they are going to ask who will be the prime minister of this country, who is going to lead this country. Even if the opposition makes us believe in some fantasy land that we don't need to vote for a prime minister, well, what are the agendas and what are the issues on which we are going to maybe replace this government by a new one? Is there any constructive, positive agenda that the opposition has fielded till now? What is their alternative model for development? Mr. Modi gave a model for development that, as proud Hindus, we have a cultural identity in place. We are an assertive nation today, and taking that assertion in mind, we will continue on our path of secular development. What is the opposition's agenda? Please explain. Somebody explain it to me in one line. It surely cannot be anti-Modi. It surely cannot only be about opposing Mr. Modi. Please tell me the alternative economic model that the opposition has.
In fact, Pankaj and Professor Mondal, that will come to you after this. Pankaj, if at all, for the longest time you've been arguing that secularism... Yeah, 1 minute. Professor Mondal, I'll come, but that question was also for Pankaj. Pankaj, for the longest time, most of the opposition parties have been arguing that secularism is dying in this country. Many would say that you are basically so obsessed with the Nehruvian idea of secularism that you are essentially not understanding the changing fabric of this country, first of all. And secondly, nowhere down the line has anyone argued that you are against any particular community, but asserting your own identity or asserting your own belongingness does not make you communal. The difference, Pankaj, here is this, that the opposition party is not being able to understand what exactly are you defining secular.
Okay, I could be obsessed with Nehruvian secularism. Can you please tell me, or if Anila ji or Shubhrastha ji, if they can enlighten me, what is Modian secularism? Yeah. What is Modian secularism? Keeping the entire one community, pushing them to the margins? Is that the Modian secularism? See, House of Politics has a room for everyone. For those also who are sincere and want to join its study room, and for those also who are hobos and prefer to remain in its Chandu Khana. What can you do for them? Now this 370, 370, 400, 400, this kind of slogans can't win this election to Bharatiya Janata Party. Do you know there is a serious churning within BJP and RSS that this time, because of Narendra Bhai Modi's leadership, BJP is in a situation where getting the clear majority is becoming difficult. This is the situation. Let the BJP allies also, have some spine.
Anila, Anila, say you want to respond because Pankaj Sharma says, what's your idea of secularism?
All right, I will tell you. We have always been secular. This nation, Bharat, has always been secular. All right, those who were not secular, they demanded their own nation and they made Islamic Republic of Pakistan. I as a Bharatiya, as a Hindu, we have always been secular. But those who strongly believe in the thought process of Britishers, a political party which was handcrafted by the Britishers, their definition of secularism was totally different. They always believed in divide and rule. This is what they did earlier. This is what they are doing right now. You accuse Mr. Narendra Modi that he is not a secular person. Sir, please tell me, has he taken control of mosque? Has he abrogated Places of Worship Act 1991? Didn't he criminalize triple talaq? Now the women can go and do their Hajj without any hindrances. Hasn't he made women of all religion, all castes more stronger than ever? Has he abrogated Waqf Act? Has he forced Muslims to sing Vande Mataram? What he has done according to you, that you are blaming Mr. Narendra Modi that he is not a secular person. Let me tell you, sir, I come from Uttar Pradesh. It is not a state, it is like a country in itself, and we have got the largest Muslim population living in this state. The maximum social schemes Muslims are getting benefited by these social schemes, maximum in number. And you are saying that Narendra Modi ji is not a secular person. Today, Muslim women, they are singing praises for Narendra Modi ji, and you are saying that Narendra Modi ji is not a secular person. Cite me one example. Majority of Islamic nations, they have awarded him with the highest award, highest civil award, and you are saying that he is not secular. So you are above all those Islamic nations, you are above all those Islamic women, and now you are saying that he is not secular. What type of definition of secularism you understand, sir?
Okay, Professor,
I'll tell you.
Professor Mondal, on the day when the Pran Pratishtha was happening. Okay, one second. Hear me out, and then you can respond. Professor Mondal, I'm coming to you only, but take my question too. Because let me I'm just extending it because I'll cover this up because this is the last I can come to you also. Professor Mondal, this fear-mongering that is essentially done, that secularism is dying. If that was the case, on the very day when the Pran Pratishtha was actually happening in Ayodhya, Chief Minister of West Bengal took out what she called the unity rally. If secularism had actually died, that unity rally would not have existed, because there was an opposition against that Pran Pratishtha. But you were allowed. This was happening. So it is a free country, it was happening. So if those who wanted to participate in the Pran Pratishtha, they did. Those who wanted to participate in the unity rally of Mamata Banerjee, they did. So it's a country which is free.
Who says kapda dekh ke pata chalta hai ye log kaun hai?
And Mr. Manmohan Singh said that Muslims have got the first right on everything.
I'll call you out in a moment.
Never ever said this.
Anilaji, let Professor Mondal
you are giving citizenship on the basis of religion, you are calling it secularism. That's Modivian idea of secularism. When you exclude a particular religious denomination by law, is that secularism for you? What are you talking about? Are you going to make this reasonable classification in a refugee camp, saying that, oh, you are a Muslim, you are go out, you are Hindu, come inside? Is this the definition of secularism for you? What are you talking about? For whom I have tremendous respect, I know her toddler is disturbing her. You are talking about repressive state apparatus. This is BJP's way of winning election. ED, CBI, income tax. These are the three repressive apparatus by BJP. If BJP is so confident, answer this simple question. Why are they taking these corrupt political leaders from other political party to win election? Answer this simple question. They know that they are slipping. I'm giving you a reality check.
Subhrashtra.
9 states. No, hang on, just 10 seconds. 10 seconds reality check. 9 states in the left side of India map. 250 parliamentary seats. BJP is not even going to get 50 out of those 250. Go to the left side of parliament from Bengal down to Kerala. 9 states, 250 seats. BJP will struggle to get even 50 seats if votings are right. That's the reality check, and BJP and Subhransha must introspect on that.
I sometimes really wonder on a lighter note, even before the elections have begun, when the political parties throw up these numbers, how do they really come to that kind of a conclusion, and whether they have that crystal ball with them always. But Shubrashta, one last word that I want to have with you, and this, something that someone as an investigative journalist who's covered several of these cases, it does actually raise this, I would say it pricks you. Particularly the fact that, leaders like Ajit Pawar, and there is merit to this argument, leaders like Ajit Pawar or Ashok Chavan, against whom you've had leaders arguing during the elections that took place in the past, that they should be chakki piecing. Devendra Fadnavis had very popularly said chakki piecing.
Mr. Sharma, Shubhendu Adhikari,
they don't have any qualms in bringing them back. Professor Mandal, just hold on, please hold on. So the question here is that for a party which has always argued that we are a party with a difference, and there is a massive crackdown on corruption, isn't there double standards in that argument?
I would absolutely not defend this, and I would absolutely say that yes, there is a double standard. And I would, as a citizen, again, I would weigh in and say that there is a double standard here, and there is a double standard when Mr. Mandal also speaks only about Shubhendu Adhikari and Ajit Pawar and Ashok Chavan, and he forgets Shah Jahan. Look at what happened with Shah Jahan. Look at what happened with so many others. Sir, please allow me a word. I did not intervene when you were speaking.
Shubhendu Adhikari has been left up by Mr. Amit Shah.
Professor Mandal, please don't do that. No one interrupted you. Professor Mandal, no one interrupted you. No one interrupted you. So let's be courteous enough. Let's allow her to also respond. It's okay. I'm sure she's aware of it.
I don't think when people go out to vote, they are really voting for absolutely clean, pristine leaders and political party in India as of now. We have not matured as a democracy to such an extent that there will be no distinction between what is said and what is practiced. Of course, we know that as a body politic, we are a corrupt body politic. So whether it is the BJP or it is the Congress, nobody can come out and say that we are absolutely crystal clear on corruption charges and we have done no corruption ever. That is something that will not happen. But then how are really, political mandates decided by the citizens of this country? They look at a comparative analysis. They do a comparative analysis of leaders and political parties. And on a comparative analysis, I don't think today BJP comes out Congress or the other opposition leaders come out any cleaner than the BJP. Then what do we look forward to? Then we look forward to poll promises. Then we look forward to a party which has actually delivered on certain promises. If one were to look at the BJP manifesto right from the day of its inception till now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they have fulfilled almost 90% of their promises under Mr. Modi's regime. Please tell me, why would the core voters of BJP not vote for Mr. Modi? Then let us talk about his welfare scheme. Somebody asked me what is Modian version of secularism. Let me tell them the Modian version of secularism is that without really saying that minorities should have the first right to resources in this country, Mr. Modi has ensured that any welfare scheme that has happened in this country does not reach only to the Hindu households. So when the Ujjwala scheme was announced, the Muslims were not kept out of it. Muslim women were not kept out of it. When there is a Poshan Abhiyan that is happening, all the schemes are delivered at ground zero without looking at the color of the skin or the kind of attire one wears. But yeah, you may continue to, raise these political arguments all the time that Mr. Modi said that in a rally, which can be bolstered with what Rahul Gandhi said in what rally, what Mamata Banerjee said, how Mamata Banerjee behaves, how, Samajwadi Party leaders behave. That kind of politicking can happen. But in terms of policy and in terms of ideology, I think the BJP has presented a very clear picture in front of the citizens, which none of the political parties till now have been able to do so. Which is why BJP is in a position that it is in, and opposition is in the position that it is in.
Well, thank you very much for all of you joining us on the weekend debate. It's surely an exciting time, an election that everyone is looking forward to. Thank you very much for watching the weekend debate.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio model. Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
A high-level committee headed by former President Ramnath Kovind has recommended simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies as a first step, followed by synchronized local body polls within 100 days' time. But the question is, what is meant by simultaneous elections in the country? Well, we will answer this and some other questions you may have regarding one nation, one election in the country. Beginning with what is meant by simultaneous elections. Well, simultaneous elections, popularly known as one nation, one election, means holding elections to the House of the People, all the state legislative assemblies and local bodies, example, municipalities and panchayats together.